comrades, today is June 30, 2026, and the current time is 1918. Continuing with our attempts at mitigating the intense heat, the Institute is now authorizing the release of backpack water containers that are legally distinct from real brands and may or may not skirt around patent law. Please hydrate responsibly. That concludes today's announcements.
この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。
Hello. Oh, the game. Oh, I thought I fixed all this. 1 second. Give me one moment. There we go. Look at that. I'm a professional streamer. I totally meant to make this look exactly like this the entire time. Hello, comrades. How are all of you doing today? Hopefully you're having a good evening. I need to preface the stream by saying that for whatever reason, well, I know the reason of one of these things. One, I'm really wet right now in the sense that I just took a shower and my hair is just like incredibly damp, and so I've had a towel over my head the entire time and over my ears, and so all of my things that I'm listening through my headset sound very muffled right now, which is kind of annoying, but what are you gonna do when you gotta dry your hair out, and I'm too lazy to use a hair dryer. Number two, my nose is bleeding. I don't know why. It's not like bleeding on the internal side. There's like a weird scab on my nose that I've been... I may have rubbed it a little too hard while I was drying myself after a shower, and oh boy, it started bleeding. And it was like, oh, that's probably not good to have a bleeding scab on my nose. So I don't know what happened. It just kind of appeared there one day, and Ray keeps yelling at me to stop touching it, but it's really hard to stop touching the little red dot on my face sometimes because, hey, what do you know? That's just how it be. Anyways, how are all of you doing? Hello, Graven and Xanth and Riston and Son and Infidave, and congrats to Son for being first, although Havel did send the first message. Also, hello, Infidave and Havel and Zoingo, and I think that's everyone who said something, and Falco, who's watching on YouTube, I guess. But you're all having a good evening? Yeah, it's our favorite game. It's Rimworld. It's rat time. It's always rat time. Our schedule's been my schedule for streaming has been at least pretty consistent with what we've been playing for the past couple streams. It's a lot of Rimworld, a lot of Fire Emblem, and usually like 1 or 2 days is like the wild card day. Obviously this Thursday is a bit more of a wild card day because I haven't announced what it's going to be, and it's probably not going to be a poll because I know we normally do polls, but I think it'd be kind of fun for me to pick something that I don't normally stream and I think would be fun to stream or play. You know, maybe something city buildery. I do like my city builders. Stuff like that. Stuffy. I'm not stuffy, actually. I'm just cooking alive. It is so uncomfortably hot outside. It is driving me insane, and it is driving. I can't really do much about it. It just sucks, right? Like, it's just hot, and so I've just been trying to survive the heat and not die from the intensity of it all. But what are you gonna do? It's just how it is. I'm not that stuffy. Trust me, it's fine. It's just hot. I took a shower, and it'll naturally cool me off as I evaporate heat. I'm basically like a walking... What do we call them in Rimworld? What are these things? Yeah, it's like this this passive cooler, because I'm so like moist and damp, like the water just evaporates off of me, and then it'll just slowly cool the space that I'm in, and it'll be really nice, right? That'll be really cool. I think that'll work. Why is it yelling at me for something? I don't know. So that's kind of where I'm at with the whole not trying to overcook myself. Hopefully none of you are overcooking in this weather. I know there's the whole thing about apparently the you know, if you're European, you're not allowed to have air conditioning, so hopefully none of you are suffering from the whims and whimsies of the European Union, and you're at least allowed to enjoy the taste of air conditioning, because boy gee golly, it would suck if you did not have air conditioning in this weather. It is actually just really bad and painful. Anyways, we're gonna try to expand our base. We do have our hotel up and running, kind of. It just needs a little bit more stuff, but we are completely out of metal, and I've been trying to find more, but no amount of metal I have is ever going to be enough. And this quarry is just perpetually just grinding limestone chunks into random things that I need. In fact, I might actually accelerate this by building a few things that might automate our industry just a little bit. We may need a robotics machining table, so we're going to try to slam one of these down as well. Let's see. Unless, sounds like very swag YOLO. What do you mean swag YOLO? Use fans. I mean, I have a fan on, actually. I've seen messages like people who've been like other VTubers are doing announcements. I know like Whiskey's like dying of the intense heat too, and I'm like, that is pretty rough, honestly, if you're like in that area. Thanks Europe for not allowing people to just have proper air cooling. You exploded last week and maybe explode next week. No, right now kind of chill. Hopefully you don't explode then. Don't explode. I don't like it when people die and explode. I'm a sucker for those types of stories like don't die, everyone's gotta live. Uh-oh. What the? Rimworld just crashed. I literally haven't done anything. It just crashed on me. Hello? Okay. That's really awkward. Okay. Well, I talk about things exploding, and I guess Rimworld decided that it too no longer wishes to be alive. So I gotta fix this. Okay. I'm rebooting the game. I don't know how long this is gonna take to reboot, but my guess is about 5 to 10 minutes, so I need to find a way to jangle keys in front of you for a little bit. I guess I'll talk like a normal person. Let's go to the chatting screen, I guess, that exists, that we sometimes use when I remember that this thing exists. So, yeah. Is you're dying from the non-summer? Yeah, I mean, I think having intense amounts of humidity would probably be a lot worse than the heat. I'm always like a big proponent of like dry heat is a lot better than humid heat. Humid heat just is pain and suffering. I've been in Japan in the summer, I've been to the Philippines, and let's just say, yeah, when it's humid and it's hot, it just sucks and it's just pain and suffering the entire time, and no one enjoys it. Scrandle, what's Scrandle? Air conditioning is electric. Adam, your brother, Chris, you have expensive game computers, just install a cold air machine. I love air conditioning, although I probably need an air conditioning in my personal space because I may or may not have blocked all the AC vents with various shelving units because I have a lot of stuff that I need to put on shelves, and it's kind of nuts. Philippines humidity once you commit a siesta. I mean, isn't it the same way with like the Spanish too? The Spanish love to take a siesta, so it's kind of similar to the Philippines as well. SG sucks. I mean, it's tropical island nations. What do you expect? It's gonna be painful in the summer no matter what you do. It's just gonna be hot, 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 and it's gonna be humid, humid, humid. It just kind of have both, and it's kind of awful. Unless you went, it was like 100% humidity. Oh my god. Actually, I don't even know what's the humidity in my area. Humidity, my area, my location. Let's see. I'm kind of curious what Google's gonna say. Humidity is 71-ish%. Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. That's what it feels like. I think for me, what sucks the most is I don't mind. I guess if it's hot in the day, it's not that bad. But once it gets to like nighttime, I would like it to drop in temperature, but very rarely does it actually drop in temperature to like a reasonable level. A lot of times it just maintains the stupid high temps throughout the night, at least for this week. But hopefully once next week rolls around, it'll drop down quite a bit. Because in my area, I think it's almost like 100 degrees Fahrenheit, which in normal people or non-American terms, that's about, I guess it's about like 35, 36 C. So it's just rough. But I think the more annoying thing is when I'm driving around in my car, I hear my car, like during the winter, my car is like, you can hear it like screaming in agony when I'm at idle. Like if I'm stopped at something, it's just like you can hear it like screaming in agony. And I know this because I had to swing by a place drive-through to grab some things I needed to pick up, and the person in front of me was taking really, really long time, and you could hear it going like I can't make the noise, but it was screaming in agony. It was not fun. In the middle of summer and rainy season. I mean, it's monsoon season, right? You'll survive. I mean, rain can be fun if you know how to use it to keep cool. Just when you combine it with the heat, it just sucks. 55% humidity and 87F. Actually, you know what I hear? What country or like what area is like really obsessed with air conditioning? I hear Hong Kong, you know, is like super obsessed with air conditioning, where everything has air conditioning. You walk into a building, it's gonna have air conditioning, and apparently it's causing such a huge strain on their power grid because every single building has AC, and you have to have AC everywhere in Hong Kong. I guess it's just they're so used to the joy of they're so used to the joy and comforts of staying cool whenever they want to be. Like a cool, it's not even like, I think even times they keep it like really cold. Like we're talking like probably like below room temp. So it's like, well, room temp's like normally 21 and a half. So they probably keep it around like 18. You've seen puffer jackets in summer because of how cold. Yeah, exactly. That's what I assume. Like, it's just super cold, like ridiculously cold. Otherwise, I mean, it's Hong Kong. You're not gonna die from not having AC. Humans have survived a long time without, you know, electric AC, but usually they designed special buildings and wind catchers to, you know, keep the heat down and everything. But that's not really a thing we run into anymore nowadays, which is kind of sad in its own way. But alas, that's how it be. All right, we're gonna try to sort through our guns and weapons. By the way, we are now sitting at, hold on, how many? I think we have a trade group also moving around. Okay, we are sitting at 23 pawns, and I guarantee you we do not have enough beds for all 23 of these individuals. So we gotta try to find some way to fix that and actually get them beds. So we're gonna try to put at least a robotics machining table here. Let's get this slammed out. Also, our guests really liked us. So they gave us a human leather chemlite leg pack. Not sure if I like that. It's not. We're trading with these locals nearby, okay? Because we have a lot of stuff. Actually, they're heading back home because they already traded. So. Clearly the solution is to buy a second, third, and fourth AC to blow more hot air into Europe. Yes, exactly. I saw that image and I started laughing. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure that thing is AI generated, but the joke at least went through. Yeah, because I mean, to be fair, I don't think people realize the reason why AC units have to be outside is that technically the way it works, right? You can't just create cold air, right? I mean, you can, but you need to. You're essentially moving energy from one place to another to create cold air. So the heat has to go somewhere else, and they kind of pump it outside. So the joke is that, hey, you know, by everyone in NA using their AC, all that heat's getting pumped over to Europe, where they're gonna burn and cook alive, apparently. Whether or not that's true, that's up to your interpretation. I think it's haha funny. Some people, Europeans, are probably like, I can't believe you would make such a cruel joke at the expense of the Europeans. When everyone using electric cars. I mean, to be fair, electric cars are good in the right scenario. Like, short drives with electric cars are going to be way cheaper and probably better on, you know, nature as a whole, the planet, with, you know, for short drives. But if you're using like you don't need to use like your Giga Chad Ford F5000 monster truck to drive to the grocery store 2 miles away. Hello, Agaby. How are you doing? Nice thrum booty. Charge 100k electric cars. Okay, well, here's the thing. You know what you should do? You should improve the electrical grid to support that amount of electric vehicles. Okay? The amount of electricity that you would need is probably a lot less than... It'll probably cost you a lot less in terms of, like, overall energy expenditures than having 100,000 gasoline-powered vehicles. Like, you know, internal combustion engines going off. Hold on, I forgot the bot wasn't on. There you go. See, the solution is, think of it this way, instead of feeding individual cars with gasoline and using that to create energy, why don't we just centralize the energy production with a giant, I don't know, nuclear reactors perhaps? I hear those are pretty cool. Maybe we should use them. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying it's an option. It exists. Why are we not accepting these as legitimate options? I don't know. Oh yeah, I forgot we have these, I forgot to hook the AC units up. Let's do that real quick before I forget. We actually do need to build AC in the colonies, so we're gonna try to do that before I forget. Even the colony needs AC, so we're gonna fix that bit by bit. I love my eight-wheeler that gets 5 gallons to the mile. Exactly. Okay, I know I complain about like vehicles and stuff a lot of times. Like there are and public transportation and how we need more public transit, but there are situations where having personal vehicle does make a lot of sense, right? Short drives where maybe public transportation can't easily reach. Heck, for the most part, I just say groceries are a lot easier to grab when you have a car rather than being able to have to take them on the bus or something, unless you live in an area where you can walk to the grocery store. But boy, my biggest complaint is that Jane Doe, a soccer mom with maybe 2 kids, who's maybe like, and she's maybe like 5'2", does not need like a giant monster pickup truck like a Ford Raptor or something like that. It makes 0 sense every time I see something like that. Because you see how tall those stupid vehicles are? I remember seeing like a chart that's like, hey, here's how much like how tall you have to be able to be seen above the hood of one of these vehicles, and you have to be like almost like 6 foot tall, which means you're gonna easily run over a kid with one of those things if you're not careful, which is the scary part. And people don't need those vehicles, and part of the problem that I hate a lot is that it's kind of becoming normalized to have a vehicle like that, and usually the logic is like, oh, I need safety, you know, I need my car, my kids to be safe, but you know, you're making yourself safe at the expense of everyone else's safety by running this ridiculously sized, you know, abomination of a vehicle. You know what I mean? It's just I don't like those big trucks. I hate them actually so much. But unfortunately, it's just kind of the standard for everyone to buy them because they're expensive and car manufacturers make a lot of money off of them. And so like, yeah, just keep making these things and people will keep buying them. And I'm just like, oh my God. I'm very comfortable with a standard, like normal sedan sized vehicle. You know, those are fun. But like something stupid like that, it's completely unnecessary. Yeah, you could make cities renewable. That'd be great too. If only there's a renewable energy source that could handle capacity. Yeah, exactly. Like, why not just have more? Just do more. What's it called? More nuclear reactors. Or what else are the kids now into? Solar energy and wind power and oh, I hear tidal power is the hot new thing too. Yeah. Safety. How big? Yeah, exactly. Safety is basically like how big can I make it? And it's insane. Like, hold on. Let's see. You ever look at a chart of like evolution of pickup truck size? Like if you ever look at a chart of like the evolution of the average pickup truck size, it's just so much bigger, and like the bed size is way smaller. Like it legitimately just makes no sense to me, like why this thing exists. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up real fast because I think it's just kind of an interesting topic. I know we're playing Rimworld, but you should know by now that these Rimworld streams usually diverge into like some random topic or set of topics for the first like 2 hours before we actually focus on Rimworld. Sorry. But yeah, if you ever look at like a chart like this, hold on, it's actually insane just like how much it evolves. Right? Like if you take a look at this one, hold on so I can pull this one up. Like the size of the truck just gets way bigger. The tonnage goes from like 2.7 to like 3.1 in 2020. You can see like on this one, the size is just like way bigger. I think the biggest example is like this, the bed size of the truck just gets way smaller because they're trying to prioritize comfort, and then you eventually want to have the second row in the back so you can have more people in it, to the point where it's just like, why not just have a minivan at this point? Do you really need a truck? When are you actually gonna take this off-roading? You're like a suburban household. You're not gonna take this off-roading. You're gonna just take this on the highway. That's as off-road as you're gonna get. Maybe you go to a national park every now and again, but it doesn't really make sense for like 99% of people to have these things. Like legit, just embrace the minivan. We need society to return to the joy of driving around in like a Honda Odyssey or something like that. Just embrace the minivan. Take your time, your 450 mods are loading. Oh, trust me, I know that feeling all too well. Don't worry. We have like 200 something mods here, and it takes about like 5-ish minutes to load first time every stream. You've seen a comparison between modern consumer available pickups and vintage mining equipment. It is insane. It is actually crazy, just the size comparison, especially when you see that these companies are usually selling smaller pickup trucks in other parts of the world. Like, obviously, we all know about the Japanese K-truck, but even still, small pickup trucks exist in other countries that they're making budget options for, like say Indonesia and the Philippines, because it's just like, why not? It's just it's a market that actually exists, and they don't want to pay for like the stupid giant size pickups that exist in the US. I love K-trucks. I love K-trucks so much. There was a tax thing, and it was also like emission laws. I think what it was also was there was a bunch of emission laws that got passed that basically said, hey, cars of this size need to meet certain emission standards. So what they did was they just upped the size of the chassis that they were making so they didn't have to follow the small car, you know, emission standards, and they can just classify their vehicles as like work trucks, and then you can now be one step up, and now you don't have to follow those same emission standards. It's really dumb. It's basically just skirting around the intent of the law. I know the small one in Forza. Yeah, I have a lot of those small weird trucks in Forza. I really do like K-trucks. When I was first looking into K-trucks, they used to be like, I don't know, $4,000 a pop. But nowadays, because of social media, the internet, YouTube, K-trucks are incredibly popular to the point where they're almost like, I want to say they're almost like $8,000 a pop. You can actually buy them on Facebook Marketplace, but yeah, they're surprisingly expensive. The Slate isn't a budget friendly, but it's the American customization. Yeah, is that the $25,000 modular one that I saw people talking about? Something to do with Apple or something? I don't know how popular that is, because I think people don't want... I mean, $25,000 big, small, compact pickup truck. The weird thing is, like, $25,000 for a truck like that in this economy is actually a really good deal. I hate saying that because like brand new trucks nowadays are usually like 50 to 70 to 80, maybe even 100 grand, which is insane to me. But 25K for like just, you don't have any of the bells and whistles. You got like manual windows and you have at least AC and a bunch of other stuff. You don't have that infotainment system. That's not actually that bad for a price, which is terrible to say. It is really handy if you have like a ranch or something like that. Yeah, you should order Tau Supremacy Suit. I don't know what that is. Is that expensive? Tau Supremacy Suit. If I Google this up, am I going to be utterly shocked at the price? $270? Oh, here, $170. Okay. What in the world? Why is Warhammer so expensive? I mean, I never like got into playing Warhammer, and I'm kind of glad I never did. Every time I look at these prices, I'm just like, who can afford this? Who can afford this insanity? I like the concept of Warhammer. I like the lore of Warhammer, but I would probably never play Warhammer physically. I think there's a lot of... I was talking to some friends earlier about this, but there was a discussion about LGSs and some of the odors that you find at your local game store. Have you ever been to... I've been to some local game stores, and sometimes you just walk in and you just get hit with the smell. Like you know what I'm talking about, right? If you walk into like a shop that prioritizes board games and stuff like that, and card games and Warhammer tabletop games, you walk in and you just get hit with the funk. Exactly. It is awful. And it's happened a couple times at my LGS, and I'm just like, I'll walk in, I'll just be like, what is that rancid scent? And it's just ridiculous. The craziest thing is that my store that I go to, they actually provide free unlimited deodorant for people in the bathroom. All you gotta do is go to the bathroom, take either a whole deodorant stick or one of the, you know, disposable single-use deodorant wipes, and you can be fresh and not smell. But people don't understand the using antiperspirant or anything like that to keep yourself hygienic, and so that other people... I mean, maybe it's a strategy that I'm not aware. Maybe the legitimate strategy is trying to gross out your opponent so much that they have no choice but to surrender. Maybe that's the plan. I don't know. It sounds horrible. Probably is horrible. But I could see it being an actual strategy that some people embrace. Oh, I don't want to think about that. That's so awful. Do we need to buy anything here? Probably not. Okay. Yeah, become a genuine avatar of Nurgle. It's the new strategy. To be fair, if someone did... Okay. I have so many local game store stories that I don't know if I want to talk about all of them. I don't think anyone from my local game store even knows I am a streamer and a VTuber, so I can talk about this, but there's been a couple times where I've been at various shops. Let's just say, I'm just gonna be generic, and there's been a couple times I've been at random shops, and I'm just always kind of surprised that for a community of people who like to play, you know, card games, I think social norms don't exist a lot of the times, especially when it comes to hygiene. Hello, Umi, how are you? And I think legitimately, like, one of my biggest oh, I forgot, we gotta change Zeru's ideology. I think one of my biggest, like, complaints about this type of thing is people who, like, come in really unkempt, I guess. I think there's, like, a level of... like, a standard of wearing appropriate clothing to go outside that is properly fitted to you, in the sense that when you sit down, I should not have to see a certain slit going down the back of your rear side, which has happened far more often than I would like to see. And it's just like, you can't... what are you gonna tell them? Hey, pull your pants up? I'm just gonna be like, I'm just gonna block it out of the line of my sight and just try to play my game of Magic, which is what I'm usually there for. But I don't know. It's just so weird to me that this has just kind of become a lot more normalized, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know why this is normal. But it is. And I don't like it. I don't like this is the timeline we're in. Oh, shoot. I need FSX and Prometheum stored in here so I can kind of hoard that. And then I'm going to grab a pawn to go consume this beautiful tech print. Let's go use this tech print. Shrinkflation in shirts too. Oh yeah, shrinkflation's in shirts too. Apparently the other thing too, you know what's funny about shirts? I don't know if I'm just being gaslit now, but I keep seeing people going back and forth whether or not the Fruit of the Loom logo has always had the cornucopia inside of it. And I don't really care that much, but I just think it's really funny that it's kind of like the Bernstein Bears and how it's spelled, or the Fruit of the Loom with like the whole, does it actually have a cornucopia or not? Apparently yes, apparently not. Who knows? It's so interesting. The Fruit of the Loom. We're not gonna go into that category. If you want that type of thing, I mean, RJW exists for that type of weird Rimworld content. I still can't believe I saw the hand-holding mod. I'm like, oh, this looks cute, and then I had to be told, oh no, it's literally just a reskinned version of RJW, and I'm like, oh, never mind. I was like, who makes this? Why is this a thing? Yeah, there's a lot of weird mods out there that exist. I'm not here to judge. I just think it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's a thing people will play. There we go. Let's add these. That should be fine. Oh, you thought it was just a joke? Oh no, it's a real thing. Sometimes I just when they're older, longer than new ones from the same company. Well, because you know they're trying to use less product to make more product, right? Totally how this works. That's how they get away with it. That's how they're getting away with it. Okay, I think. Okay, have we updated the gear yet? Okay, so your gear's updated. I think I wanted Riston to have an upgraded gear, and I don't know what happened to your armor. Who has the recon armor? Why does Hawksby have recon armor? Okay, I don't know what happened there, but we're gonna have you drop that. You don't need that. I'm gonna have Riston put on the recon armor for now. That should be okay. We do need to make more battle cloaks as well. I've been kind of putting that off for a while, so let's get some of those slammed out. We need a tailor bench before I forget this is what we're missing. Let's grab one of these real quick and just kind of slam it down so we can get everything manufactured. Uniqlo is fairly consistent throughout this. I like Uniqlo's clothes. I think Uniqlo is probably like one of my favorite outfit shops, mostly because I just need something simple, and I do like clothes that stretch just ever so slightly, and Uniqlo's usually one of those places. And I also need something that kind of keeps me cool when I'm outdoors, so I really like their Airism shirts, so I always have like a bunch of them. Yeah, I'm shilling Uniqlo. What a shame. I mean, no one's gonna attack us. Hello, World of Stories. Yeah, we'll be fine. It's a beautiful, wonderful base. We even have a hotel for our guests here. Imagine Sanity, sure the cost material $1 and sold to me for 10. They say 5% fire, make it sense. Endless grid, no morality. I mean, it's the clothing industry. It's basically like one of the least it's essentially one of the least ethical businesses out there, considering they essentially rely on third world labor to manufacture clothes, right? Yeah, for the most part anyways. Especially fast fashion brands typically do that type of deal. It is unfortunate, but because the thing is, like, when it comes to stuff like that for clothes, most people are just gonna go for the cheapest option. No one's really interested in buying. Most people aren't really interested in buying the high quality stuff unless you know what you're looking for. Most of the time people are just like, what's cheap and what gets me through the next day. It's one of the least ethical industries, I would say. Imagine if this was Clash of Clans, people just constantly rating you. That's not the case yet. I mean, it's not the case. No, we're not doing Clash of Clans. There are mods that allow you to do just perpetual defense runs, but this is not one of those runs. Although I have considered doing that type of thing at some point in the future. I do need to get some automated turrets running. I will say, there is some really interesting stuff that, oh gosh, speaking of industries and stuff, I just want to talk about this a little bit because it's so funny to me. So, there's this mobile game called Love and Deep Space. I don't play it. I know a few people who play it. It's essentially an otome game, so it's a game that basically appeals to women. and I was kind of browsing my social media, and apparently, for whatever reason, I guess they were introducing some kind of new character, like a new love interest. And apparently the Chinese fandom got it's super popular in China, got incredibly mad to the point where they were sending death threats and like visages, a visage of like, you know, like death, you know, death symbolism and everything at the offices, because apparently they were that unhappy with the fact that the new character was, I guess, coming out, and they didn't want that. And I was like, what is happening over there? Thank you for the steel meteor, Umi. This is actually what we needed. So I'm not really gonna get into it. I just saw that news and I was like, this is insane. Like, why is this the thing that everyone wants to complain about? There's so many other things that can be, but it was so, apparently it got so bad that they had no choice but to cancel the release of the character. And I was like, oh no, they caved into the terrorists. And I was like, well, it's all over for them now. They caved once, though. People are gonna, you know, attack them no matter what, because they know they can bully them into submission every single time. Never anger for Joshis and Otome players. I mean, yeah, I have no intention. I have no. Seems like my cup overflows. My steak is too juicy. My laws are too buttery. No, it's a little different. Okay, so here's the main difference between this industry, right? So in games, so here's the thing. In games targeted at generally men or like the general weeb population, it's very much character collection where you're trying to collect as many characters as possible and be, you know, and be kind of like more or less collecting your harem, essentially. Oh my goodness. Holy moly, what the?
Powers just gifted 20 subs.
Thanks for the 20 gifts. Oh my god. What the fuck? Alright, thank you, Futonari Powers, for your contribution. I appreciate it very much. Holy moly. That's a lot of gift subs. Thank you very much for the contribution. Oh, that's a 20? Oh my god, it is 20. Holy moly. I'm glad that you enjoy this content enough to throw that many subs this way. Oh. I do appreciate all the support that everyone gives me. I really do. Because boy, being a streamer is a lot of work, kind of. So no, I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. I appreciate the 20 gift subs, and hopefully all the people who received one will enjoy their cool new emotes. And I guess there's also some hype train thing that's going on. So hopefully everyone else enjoys the emotes. Okay. What in the world was I talking about before we got to this point? Alright, okay, so here's the thing. So men-focused games typically will be more character collecty, but my understanding is that otome games, the people who play those games really want to focus on a single character. Like, they want to just have one character that they're going to essentially simp for the entire time. So when they introduce a new character, that's essentially, in a way, less development resources going to the other characters. And that's kind of apparently like part of the huge reason for the backlash. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's interesting, I guess. I didn't realize how intense it was for people who consume these games to be very dedicated in this manner, but apparently that's how it works, and I thought it was super interesting when I was being told how that works. What was the new character? It was some kind of like super wolfish dude whose entire theme was like a hungry wolf, and he's like, he's gonna eat you up, and he's like muscular bad boy type aesthetic. I'm not gonna pull up the character. I don't even remember his name, but I don't even know how to provide an example because I don't know any examples. China with the shipping charts and manifest sound is really funny. I mean, yeah, it's so funny. It was a pretty version of the werewolf from Twilight. Oh my gosh, that's right. Yeah, that's actually a good way to describe it. That's a really good way to describe it. He is basically the werewolf dude from Twilight. Oh my gosh. You know, when I was in middle school, I made fun of a kid for reading Twilight because he was a dude and he was like, man, it's like, why are you reading Twilight? And then the more I thought about it, I was like, man, let me actually give this a chance. So I actually read the book and I was like, this is not the worst thing I've ever read. But it's clearly not designed for me, who was like a middle school boy reading a fantasy romance novel for primarily aimed at women. And then apparently at some point, the author wrote a gender-bent version of Twilight. I cannot remember what it was called, but it's literally just every single character's gender is flipped. So instead of having like the girl as the main lead, you have a guy as the main lead who's now being, you know, lusted over by a essentially like a vampire girl, a werewolf muscular tomboy werewolf girl, and then a bunch of other people that a bunch of other girls that want to eat him up. And I'm just like, okay, I see now. Yeah, exactly, the oh god, I get it moment. Because legitimately, I think you could take the premise of that version and it's probably an anime somewhere. Like, unironically, that is probably an anime. If it's not an anime, it's probably some kind of thin book that exists because someone probably ran with it, but they just didn't call it Twilight. They gave it a very unique title instead. So I just think it's hilarious that it's basically like that. Also, we need to expand the farm. I didn't realize how many animals we have here. Good lord, we have a lot of animals. But yeah, is it pink-haired? Yeah, I think it's the pink-haired one that you probably saw in an ad at some point. It's always interesting seeing what happens on social media because it's just, I don't pay attention to any of these games. I don't play any of them, but I just think it's funny. And I actually don't mind. I don't think it was really smut. It was just very much like a wish fulfillment type thing. It really, when you think about it, Twilight is the progenitor of the modern romantasy series. Because I've talked about romantasy before. It's not a genre that I would ever read. But a lot of them sure involve gratuitous amounts of bodily unisons. And it's just like, I mean, I guess to be fair, a lot of romantasy is kind of aimed at women, but there's also, to be fair, men have had a lot of similar genres for them. Like if you just look at anything anime that's like a harem comedy type thing, and a lot of them usually have some kind of weird fantasy bend to it that's haha funny. So I get it, you know, it's just essentially the westernized version that's aimed at women. And this type of genre has always existed forever. If you can write smut, you can make money. Although nowadays, I guess you have, I hate to say it, but there's probably there used to be really funny ones out there written by individuals like, I'm not gonna say names. I guess like one of them I think was like Chuck Tingle or something. He wrote like really weird ones involving dinosaurs and stuff. But nowadays, because everything can be AI'd, it kind of sucks that I think the art of writing this genre is being replaced by computers who don't understand the human emotion behind these acts. I don't know where how did I get on this topic? Good lord. Anyways, I actually did read a Stephanie Meyer book that was not Twilight at some point, and I actually really enjoyed it. I cannot remember what it was called, but it has something to do with like an alien and the girl kind of sharing the same body. I think the alien kind of like comes in and it was something along those lines. I legitimately do not remember what it was, but for some reason that's like the only thing I remember about the book. And I thought it was actually kind of a fun romance, adventure, thriller type thing. What was it called? I cannot remember. The Host, that's what it was, yeah. Oh my god, they turned this into a movie? Well, they did turn it into a film, what the heck? That's so funny. You read Romantasy in the ear, Assistant to the Villain. It was cute. Let me look at that one. Assistant to the Villain. Oh, this is let's see. I might need if it's cozy fantasy romantic comedy. Okay, maybe Once Upon a Time meets The Office. Interesting. Maybe I'll give this a look. I do see it for sale for kind of cheap. Wow, Kindle Unlimited has it for $0. Psychologically afflicted by just remembering what Twilight is. I don't know. I feel like Twilight, like, the more I think about it, like I used to be like one of those Twilight haters because I was a immature child who was like, ew, this is not for me. It must be gross and like disgusting. The more I think about it, it's just wish fulfillment fantasy. And people are allowed to enjoy wish fulfillment fantasy nonsense. This one just happens to involve vampires and werewolves and a cabal of other weird nonsense. And a lot of weird dialogue probably that's like, oh, Edward's skin glistened like gems and jewels in the sun as he sparkled under the rays beneath the trees. His visage ever glowing, looking more divine with every passing moment. I have no idea if that's actual dialogue. I am just coming up with this off the top of my head. Basically, isekai genre would be, yeah, it's essentially, it's not quite isekai, but it's very much in the same vibe of, it's a harem, or you can call it a reverse harem. Same concept, really. It would be wrong of me to hate one, but glaze the other, right? And I think a lot of people would probably agree with that. Like, it's fine to make fun of it, but because I make fun of isekai all the time, too. All this stuff has further reinforced your knowledge that you're definitely asexual. Hey, as long as you know what you are, then that's more power to you. It's the end of Pride, I guess, so go be prideful before your corporate mandated pridefulness is stripped away from you. That's right, don't you know you're only allowed to be prideful for 30 days out of the year before your corporate overlords will deny you that ability? That's right, it's your state mandated pride. You're not allowed to have fun anymore. Am I allowed to say this? Am I gonna get in trouble for making these jokes? I hope not. I do think it was kind of funny that it used to be very, very... Oh wait, I just realized we got a man in black. Who did we get? His name is Daisy Irontooth. Okay, hold on. We're gonna delete Daisy Irontooth and we're gonna place him with a correct sized ratkin. So give me just a second. We're gonna pick a ratkin petty thief as the one. Okay, so this is the new one. We're gonna teleport them in. Okay, their name is Lostra. Their actual name is going to be... Alright, congratulations to Boomhouse. You are in the run now. Oh my gosh, we have so many pawns. Alright, you have no combat skills, but you're really good at mining, cooking, plants, crafting. So you're basically like a non-combatant, but you actually have some pretty good skills in other things, which is kind of nice too. You sound like you only let to go to the closet in this month, else it stays closed. But that's the thing. That's the funny joke. Because it's like, so corporations used to be like really into the whole Pride Month thing, but obviously due to recent events that we're not going to really get into because we don't talk about politics, it's not really, like, a lot of the corporations didn't really do their, you know, rainbow variants of their logos. And to be fair, I think a lot of people also were very much not fond of it because it was just like, it just felt like a cheap way to show support without actually doing anything, right? And I think that's kind of like what some people were complaining about type deal. By the way, we need more steaks. We need to make more steaks here. Oh, you know what I forgot we have not been growing? I need to grow tea. I've been wanting to grow tea in the colony. But unfortunately, there's not really a lot of growing fields for it. I think what I might need to do is I may strip the beach down to approximately this size. And then I'm going to do like a tea plantation. Or, oh, that's right, I forgot to get the mod that lets me drain this quickly. Do I want to install it? Hold on. There's literally a mod that I used in a previous run that was called, it was like a advanced moisture pump is what it was. And it basically added a version of the moisture pump that was just way better and allows you to quickly, you still need to build it, but it'll let you get rid of the marshland way quicker instead of having to wait an eternity for it, but whoopsies. I think business wanted a gap month between holidays to get more money. I mean, that might be too, yeah. You saw Brazil beat Japan, they get to keep me. I saw that. That's so funny. I saw like, I've seen some NTR variants of the art. I saw the art of like a small Miku pressing her chest against like a big Miku that's Brazilian. And then I saw something about Brazilians picking up like a Miku standee away from the Japanese. And I was like, this is so funny. I don't pay attention at all to soccer or football, as you might call it, so I really don't know what's going on with the World Cup, other than I saw that, yeah, apparently there was some kind of game between those two and Japan lost, I guess, to the Brazilians, and I'm like, well, that's unfortunate. So I don't know, I don't pay attention at all to football at all. It's not really my type of sport. Like, I really don't care for physical sports that much. A lot of people I know are really into it though, and I've considered like maybe as an adult I should probably pick one sport to at least pretend to be interested in, so that when I talk to normal people that are not terminally online, I can actually have a common point of interest. But then I realized, wait a second, I can just be into F1 and racing instead. So I think if I have to pick a sport, I'm just gonna be into F1 instead. Football? Nah. Soccer? Nah. Baseball? Who cares? F1? Ooh, zoomy cars go fast? Yes, please. I think that'll be a lot more entertaining for me, honestly. Even though I myself don't really watch, I myself don't really watch F1. I keep up with F1 memes because, surprisingly enough, it's really easy to get familiar with these different memes. And so that's kind of what I've been vaguely paying attention to. I really need to get that tea field growing. I don't know if I'm going to grow it, though. I don't know if we have enough time to build a tea farm. All right, so one thing I also am trying to do is I'm trying not to use our wheat. So what I need to do, and I've been meaning to do this, I need to build a wheat thingy-mabobber that I'm blanking out on the word on. A mill. Yes, that's right. We need a mill. So we're gonna... I need to make... This storage area is not nearly big enough. I think I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make more shelves, and these shelves just store everything else that I don't know what else I can dump in here. I think that's probably fine, right? Just random shelving for everything that I'm too lazy to sort through. Okay, that should be fine like that. And then we can probably do... something along those lines is probably fine. We can probably move these around a little bit. So, like I said, everyone, I think, is kind of generally needs to kind of pick a sport, but you may not want to, but you can pick a racing sport and it'll be fine. Mecha is a man's romance, said someone somewhere. I mean, to be fair, mecha shows generally nowadays have a lot of romantic elements to it, and not just romantic, but also mecha's always had like a lot of like deep storylines. A lot of times the mecha is just kind of like a draw to get people in. Gundam, for example, usually is like a really deep plots of like, you know, political machinations and intergalactic warfare and the tragedy of such warfare. But the mechas are just really cool to look at and kind of draws you in. Right, giant robots are really fun, and I do agree with that statement. I really like seeing... I used to watch mecha stuff. I don't really watch it as much anymore. I kind of stopped watching mecha around whenever Iron-Blooded Orphans came out, and... what was that other one I really liked? I'll Know a Zero I really enjoyed, and then I kind of stopped watching as much mecha stuff. I know there's like all that other stuff, like the Witch of Mercury or something, and then... what are the other ones out there? There's a lot of other ones. I've been meaning to build more Gundams. I like building Gunpla. I just never get around to finishing them. I have one sitting on my shelf that I just haven't... It's the same one I mention every couple months. It's like the one that's just been on my shelf for the past, like, 2 years unfinished, just waiting for me to sit down and actually finish the dang thing. But I just get lazy and I never get around to doing it. What is Bang Brave Braven? Bang Brave Braven. Okay, let's see what this is. From 2024. Ah, it is another mecha series. Got it. Ah, oh, it's an original. Got it. Interesting. Maybe I'll need to look at this one. There was another one I really liked that was taking... It was like the last mech or something. Or a mech and a pilot came to what is now Earth, and that's now flooded. And I cannot remember what it was called. Mecha show Flooded Earth. What was it called? Gargantia. There we go. Yeah, Suisei no Gargantia. That's the one. I really like that one, but I know not a lot of people did, but I enjoyed it. I'm gonna cover going on this good introduction to mecha, then Evangelion went the opposite direction. And to be fair, they're kind of two different... They're two different genres. Like, they're both mecha and yes. But I think for those who, yeah, especially the messaging is just completely different. Like, Gurren Lagann is very popular because it's got a very hopeful message that you just have to keep fighting through and, you know, and just never give up. Just keep persevering and you'll succeed. And I think that's a really fun thing. I've been really into media that I guess I would describe as hope core, where not everything has to be dark. Not everything has to have a sad and tragic ending. I love tragic endings too, but I think there's also just... It's good to just enjoy content where, yeah, there can be struggles, but ultimately in the end you can have a happy ending, and there's nothing wrong with that. Whereas Evangelion is basically just like, so anyways, how depressing can we make this be? how much religious iconography. I think mecha shows have a lot of religious iconography, surprisingly enough, and I find it very interesting. A lot of anime media, especially like the ones that I guess we would consider like iconic stuff, generally has a ton of like iconography that's like religious centric, like whether it's what sort of thing of like whether you're looking at something, say, cross related, like Christianity is usually like a big example that they kind of pull in, versus something like, say, I don't know, or like Judaism is very like also prominent in a lot of like Eastern media, especially Korean stuff for some reason. Like they'll use like the Sephiroths in as like names for characters and like stuff like that. It's such an interesting thing to see. Like we're talking about like the characters like, you know, Bina, Keter, you know, Hod, Yasod, things like that. It's so interesting. But yeah, the Kabbalah, that's the one. Thank you. Jewish mysticism. Yeah, like I don't like. I think it's so interesting because it's primarily Korean stuff that I see use Jewish mysticism with like the Kabbalah and things like. I'm probably saying it very incorrectly, so I apologize. Because I know Blue Archive does it. I know Library of Ruina and what's the other one called? Lobotomy Corporation all use it. And there's probably a bunch of other ones that I'm like blanking out on. Japanese ones tend to have a lot of Christian iconography in it. Like if you ever look at Evangelion, there's a bunch of crosses in there, people being crucified and stuff like that. You don't really see too much like regarding other religions too much. Like I don't really see a lot of Hinduism or Islam in a lot of anime related media for the most part, unless it's just like something that takes place in the modern time and it's just the character's religion and they just kind of make use of that. And I think that's also fun and fine too. Yeah, angel evil, demon good kind of writing. I used to see that so much. I can forward one thing type, wrong type moon. Yeah, oh yeah, type moon projects also have a lot of that too. There's a lot of stuff that's just like, okay, to be fair, especially when it comes to Eastern media, they sure like drawing the demons, especially usually like whichever character is Satan, as like a cute anime girl. And it's always just like, well, you can't exactly blame, I guess, the reader for being like, well, devils must be good. Why, if cute, why evil type scenario? And I feel like that's the thing that happens with this. It's just like, what do you mean the devil is like God, never mind. I'm not gonna go into this topic, but I've seen a lot of interpretations that are just like, what do you mean you're a demon? What do you mean you're Satan if you're like, if you look like this? Yeah, exactly. If bad, why sexy? Thank you, Fear, for saying it out loud. And I think it's just so funny. Let me drink my water. I've been like going on this tangent for like the past hour. To be fair, I think a lot of it's also just like they're trying to be, what's what I'm thinking of? I don't want to say like they're trying to break the mold, but I guess they're trying to go against what is, I guess, quote unquote tradition with a lot of these, where they're just like, well, you know, we can be funny about it. It's like, okay, Helltaker exists, for example. Yeah, it's a prime one. Where the whole idea is like, okay, well, normally the angels are good. What if we make the angels bad and we make the demons good because it's different? And I'm like, okay, I can see the appeal of it. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that type of stuff. Some people may find it boring, but I don't find it necessarily boring. It just has to be done right. If you do it right, I think it's fine. Yeah. Make the angels terrifying and the demons sexy. I mean, you could. That's probably a valid thing. We're going to add more power, by the way, to our power grid because we need way more. I want to actually put more concrete here, primarily because I like it when it looks a little more unified. So we're going to just dump more concrete in this general area just to kind of make it look a little nicer. Maybe put like a fence around our power system here. Cute evil demon has been dying trope for you. You want the demon to actually look like absolutely evil and actually do evil things. I mean, there's probably series like that, but people, that doesn't sell. Here's the thing too, like you have to remember, especially like when it comes to Japanese light novels and manga, they have to make they have to sell the characters to you. And the unfortunate reality is that the market probably does not appeal or is not very receptive to characters that are like, well, we have this, you know, big scary demon lady who's like 200, you know, like feet tall, and she'll crush you with her, you know, feet or something. And it's more just like, okay, here's the queen of hell, and she's like a 16-year-old high schooler. Aesthetically a 16-year-old high schooler, but she's really 3,000 years old. That is the common trope, and because that's the thing that people want, I guess. That is unfortunately what is the most popular thing in this day and age. Also, we gotta do research. Become more popular. I think they said with serial killer demon lord who kills other demon lords. If that's Korean, I could definitely see that. Korea's got a lot of like that type of media where it's very much like we're just, what do you want to call it? Like I don't know what you're gonna call it, but it's basically like revenge, murder type, a lot of stuff. I don't really read a lot of Korean manhwa, but I'm a little attuned to kind of what goes on through osmosis of other people discussing it. It's not really my genre though. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of good manhwa out there. At least from what I've seen. I've not read a single one of them, and it's primarily because I kind of find it hard to read Korean manhwa, primarily because I'm gonna get lost on all the names. I can keep track of Japanese names. I cannot keep up with Korean names. I'm so sorry. It's probably not that difficult, but for me, it's surprisingly hard. And it's because I'm that much of a weeb. It's probably because I am that much of a weeb. One day I'll give it maybe I'll give it another shot one day. Let's see. Make the angels look like evil, being tempting and potentially manipulative. What a novel thought. I mean, that's just a thing too, right? And then sometimes they'll be like, well, we have to introduce the angel character. Oh my gosh, I swear I've read this. I cannot remember I've read it, but it was basically like, okay, you have the love interest. One's a demon, one's an angel. They're basically, you know, at odds with each other, and you're the main, and the main character is gonna try to, like, I guess, I don't know, try to keep them from killing each other, but then they both fall in love with him and they forms a harem with the two of them. Make the angels look like you, but if you decide to push your buddy into that bonfire, I mean, I don't know what that's referring to, but don't push your friends into bonfires, please. That seems like not a good idea. Why would you ever push your friend into a bonfire? What has your friend done to deserve being pushed into a bonfire? Do I not have a grass asset? Really? I need to go download some grass mods. Thought I did, but I guess I forgot to. Okay. It's tragic. We do need to expand this a little bit. As long as we have enough power, we should be fine. We actually have enough power to get through the night, which is great. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I need to build the advanced fabricator. It's about time we slam out one of these bad boys. Unfortunately, we do not have the 12 components to put this down, so I have no idea where I'm gonna put this, but I'm probably gonna put this in the middle because it's kind of fun. I have an idea. Actually, I have a really fun idea. We're gonna move these cabinets to the middle. Yeah, once this is built, but I need to find 12 components to slam this out. My idea, and you got it from some fan art of the Hunchback movie. I don't know what that's referring. I mean, the Hunchback of Notre Dame? Someone had Frollo come across a burnt up version of himself before the ending of the movie, and he changed his ways. Oh, interesting. That's kind of interesting. I have not watched the Hunchback of Notre Dame in probably 20 years. I do not remember much of anything about it, other than, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, most of my Disney older film refreshers is whenever they pop up in Kingdom Hearts. And I really wish I was joking, but when I played Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, like when I was in college, I think, that's kind of how I remembered the plot of The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Because he was a main character, he was one of the characters on one of the worlds, and I don't know why that's what I remember, but that's what I remember. By the way, I forgot that these guests have actually been paying us silver. We do want to upgrade these beds at some point. We do need to get way more components. We're going to try to grab everything we can. There's a lot there. There's like one there. And we probably will kill these bison. I want to see if I can get some tea growing, but I think it is a little too late to grow tea. Although, maybe I can slam some over here real quick. We might not have the time for it. I might make a greenhouse here, and we might make this the tea greenhouse at some point. I don't have ceiling lights, unfortunately, so we'll need a lot of energy to pull this off. We're not gonna do hydroponics because we do not have enough materials to do hydroponics, so I think what we'll do is we'll have a small gap. Could probably build it out kind of tiny like this. And then we'll do the usual of, let's see, is that centered? It is, perfect. So we can just bing, bang, 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 boom. And then we can kind of make it look a little nicer, I guess. Perfect. And we can put a door here. And let's just put a standard door for the time being. So, anyways, yeah. Video games and anime stuff, I tell you what. I don't mind... a lot of this weird fantasy stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I am kind of a sucker for some of this content. If I look at my manga reading list, a good portion of them are romance comedy. Sometimes they're probably isekai, and probably sometimes they're very much harem nonsense garbage, but it's fun. It's just silly fun stuff to read. And then I also read like the weird stuff too, that's like more drama, but that's a whole different thing. I think honestly though, and I mentioned this before, but I think one of my favorite genres of manga and anime is child rearing, where it's like the main character stumbles upon a child, or they have a child and they have to take care of them and they have to raise them, and it's like, it's actually a lot of fun. I really enjoy that genre of content. Yeah, it's just comfy, it's cozy, you know. I think that's a very fun stuff. So I finished the event. Yeah, I did. Yeah. Can I put a heated lamp column in here? Ooh, that doesn't fit perfectly. That's actually no. Okay, so I need to shrink it down. Okay, here's the thing. I'm gonna shrink it down one tile. So it's gotta, this all has to go up by one step. Okay, that's perfectly in the middle now. That should be fine. Then I finish if Samurai Donald will defeat the Demon King. Okay, so I have not finished reading it, but I know what happens at the end. And I hate the fact that so many of these child-rearing anime or manga is just like, but what if we make the child character, who's usually a daughter, fall in love with the main protagonist? It's like, but why is Havel dying? What in the world happened to Havel? Hello? What the heck? Wait, what? What happened? What shot you? What the heck? Garm's gun shot Havel. Oh, it was a hunting accident, wasn't it? Oh, I bet you. Okay, I see what happened. Okay, I bet you Garm was shooting at one of the yaks over here. That's probably what happened. Okay, let's have you stop fighting there. Okay, let's have Alana quickly come over here. See what we can do about fixing Havel. Can you quickly pick up Havel? All right, let's quickly fix this. Okay, you're gonna go there. You're gonna tend right there. Okay, should be fine. Looks like Havel's gonna be okay. We probably need to be a little more careful about the hunting shenanigans. You know, a meta shonen story would probably be cool, where escalation is the problem and no one can have peace because the author won't let the story end. I'm pretty sure that's a meta story that's existed probably somewhere. I would not be surprised. But yeah, I really do hate the genre trope of like, well, what if they fall in love and then they you know, the child character becomes an adult and is like, I want to marry you, father figure character, and it's just like, but why? It annoys me so much. It's like one of my, I hate that trope so much with a burning passion. It's like one of my, it's not the worst. It's not even grooming. It's just like, I don't know. It just happens. It's weird that it's happened twice in things that I've read, but it shouldn't have happened twice in the first place. Oh, the matriarch in this life. Let me look it up. All right, I'm gonna put this on my to read list at some point. I usually just pull it up on a Google tab and I'll look at it later. Call it pretty early. Did you? I don't know. I wouldn't have pegged it. I was just reading it and I was just like, oh, this will be fun. And then it became not what I was anticipating. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, it's not done with intent, essentially, right? It's not like Fire Emblem Three Houses, where you, the player character, are very much trying to I'm not gonna get into that topic. But yeah, it's always weird that the character ultimately decides, you know what, I want to go marry this person who essentially has acted as my parental figure for the past bajillion years. No, we're not gonna talk about, oh right, we're gonna build the mill, so we're gonna do, we need an automatic milling machine so I can quickly grind the flour into usable bits and pieces. I don't actually know which direction is the front side of this, so I'm gonna hope it's this one. So that way we can bake goods. We'll be able to bake meat pies, because I do not have the resources for anything else, so don't expect any pizzas because I don't know where to get cheese. I don't want my child rearing stories to go that way is the problem. I like reading, like one of my favorite ones that I actually was reading the other day, and it's been a while, is It's like the cheat slow life one where it's like, oh, the guy owns like a potion shop or drugstore. That one's fun. Or Isekai Nonbiri Noka, that one's a lot of fun too. Though that one very much turns into like a, oh, he's got more than one kid. Oh, he's got 2 kids. Oh, he's got 10 wives and 10 kids. And it's just like, oh, this escalated really quickly. But I mean, well, it's wish fulfillment, so I guess what are you gonna do, right? I think it's silly, but hey, people, that's what the people are into nowadays. We're gonna add I need to add the plowed soil here, so we're just gonna fill this up with proper plowed soil. That's just 10. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's sure you can say it's a 10-year age gap, but I can still choose not to like it. I mean, I'm probably still gonna finish reading the that one, the Uchi Musume, at some point, but I really need to sit down and get around to reading a bunch of other things that I've been meaning to read at some point. I have a lot of things on my to-do list that I've just been too lazy to actually do, and it's a bit of a problem. Also, we need to move these lights. I want these lights correctly installed center here. I'm gonna see if I can add another research lab. I think that'd be great. We can probably fit one more. If I do that, I don't know if I can fit an ENIAC in here. The ENIAC eats up way too much space. I think if let's see, if I move this, we can probably fit an ENIAC in there, and I move this to the other side. I think the farming life in another world, that world made it a village only women married, everyone had kids, and I was like, what's going on? Why is this anime? Because people like it. It's wish fulfillment. Like I've said before, people enjoy wacky wish fulfillment, and usually cozier ones like that also have like a huge appeal because, hey, there's no one dying. Everyone just gets to live their life, and you just get to see their wacky hijinks. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think people just enjoy that stuff. Also, a sickly child has landed nearby, named Esposa. We gotta go rescue them. Is anyone close enough? I guess Alana might be close enough. Let's just tend real fast, and then we'll protect them. Oh, a big deck. Yeah, no, I did. I didn't beat him up enough times to clear the shop, but I did it. Another good child rearing one is under fails to use leads adopted daughter. Interesting. I have the male leads adopted daughter. Oh, okay. And then basically just like raising the child of your opponent, right? Is kind of the vibe. I could see that being appealing too. That sounds like fun. Oh, no. I didn't mean to capture them. I meant to rescue them. Let's go rescue, not capture. Well, we've already got these two. We already have this one that's being captured. We gotta go recruit them. The resistance is breaking down. Soon, one day, this rat warlord will join us permanently. Gotta get more beds. We don't have enough beds here. Oh my god. Let's get this built out too. There's our milling machine. Okay, so here's our milling machine. So this will just automatically convert wheat into flour. Slowly but surely at 50 units a piece. So as long as we just keep dumping more flour in there, that will, you know, we're gonna add another milling machine. You never know when you need more. Steam Summer ends, I want to say July 8 is what I remember seeing. There was a couple things I've been considering purchasing on the Steam sale. Primarily Deltarune, because I don't own Deltarune Chapter 5. And I think the other one I was looking at was Monster Hunter. Whatever that new one was called that has DLC coming out soon. Monster Hunter Wilds. You know what game you could buy? You could buy For Honor for $5 and join me on the battlefield as I fight against my foes. And I get super salty and start slamming my hand against my desk and then breaking my wrist. Streamline for you. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's Monster Hunter. I thought about it. I used to play so much For Honor. I have like some almost 600 hours into For Honor. I'm not ashamed to admit that. I used to love that game. I don't play it basically anymore, but it's just not really worth it. What's Delta? Oh, Deltarune? Yeah, no, you have to buy the whole thing. So here's the thing. I don't own Deltarune. I played the first chapter when it came out in like 2022 or something like that, or like when did it come out? I think it was in college. I think I was in college when it came out. Deltarune Chapter 1 release date. When did it come out? Yeah, 2018 it came out. So I played Chapter 1 when it came out when I was in college. I think I was literally in the middle of my master's program when it came out, but then I didn't play anything else after that. And I know Chapter 5 just came out, and Chapter 6 is slated for next year, which means Chapter 7 is probably slated for, I mean, if we're lucky, maybe 2020, 8 or something. I know progress had to slow down pretty badly on the game. Thank you for... Whose meteor is this? Oh, who slammed a meteor that just destroyed my wall? I know progress apparently slowed down because Toby Fox had like a huge wrist problem. Apparently he's not able to like really use a keyboard anymore or play the piano, so he has to essentially do a lot of his like computer programming and writing basically by, well, voice transcription, and I think that's really tragic. You know what? That's a steel meteor. I will take it since we need so much steel anyways. We have so many pawns. I don't know how to track all these people. I have 24. We don't have enough bedrooms. Maybe we need to start doubling people up in here. It is a great wall. Look at it. It's beautiful. It's supposed to be double layered, but I haven't had a chance to like really add defenses in there, so kind of an issue. But don't worry, it's all part of the great expansion program that we have. Bit by bit, this will get a little better. They got Mr. Krabs in Edgerunners. Like, his voice actor is in Edgerunners. The new Edgerunners show that I may or may not watch, depending if I feel like it. We still can't make medicine. I forgot to research medicine. I would like medicine production like the other now. We're gonna move this up over vitals monitor, and I think that should be fine. We'll move concrete out of here. Don't need concrete. Don't need basic sorting systems. It's fine. Okay. He voices the blonde guy with the glasses. He's blonde? I thought he was like gray-haired. Okay, well that's interesting. I don't know. I'll probably give it a watch. We'll have to see. I liked Cyberpunk Edgerunners. I liked the first season. I thought it was fun. We'll have to see if I'm gonna watch any more. Because the thing with the thing with Cyberpunk is that you know it's gonna be a tragic end. Because that's the whole thing with Cyberpunk, right? The whole theme is like you have your, you know, fighting for your freedom in an unjust society type of deal. It's rough out there, and you have to forge your own path. I like Cyberpunk, but it is kind of depressing in its own way as well, and that's fine. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just pointing out like, oh, this is kind of the vibe for this. Yeah, like you're gonna lose, but are you gonna lose as yourself, or are you gonna lose and lose who you are? And I think that makes for a very interesting dichotomy with how the story is structured ultimately in the end. It's a lot of fun, but it is sad, and I need to like be kind of ready to absorb the depression that comes with this type of media. Nothing wrong with it, like I said. I just think it's interesting. Okay, can I... Oh, wait. We can make taco. Oh, we can't make tacos. We can't make cheeseburgers either. We can make bread. I guess we can just make lots of bread. But I think it'd be better if I could... How do I make cheese? The thing is... The thing is, none of our animals that we're ranching actually produce milk. Because we have an alpaca. I guess this one technically makes milk, right? Nope, alpacas don't make milk. Really? They don't make milk. I really wish Muffalo made milk, but I remember Alana mentioned that they used to, but then a patch, I think like 1.4 got rid of it, and we're already at 1.6. That's a little tragic. I really wish they still, I really wish they still did that. Oh well. All right, let's go chop these trees down. So at least, chop wood. Here are these trees real quick. Okay, that's a meteor full of gold ore, which landed pretty close by. We'll get rid of that. And then let's get rid of the squirrel. It is a singular squirrel. I guess you can go beat up a squirrel if you really want. So we'll grab that. Oh my gosh, I probably need to crack my back. So yeah, I don't know. We can make meat pies. I don't know if we can make wet peas and gravy. That's I don't know what wet peas and gravy is like. But yeah, we'll have to see. I like Cyberpunk. I still never finished Cyberpunk 2077. It was one of those games that I tell myself, yeah, I'll finish it, and then I never do, because I'm a lazy individual who has the attention span of like, I don't know. I swap between games far too often is kind of the problem. Where did this rat go? Oh, we skipped past it. Uh-oh. Can you run up to it fast enough, or is someone else gonna have to kill this? I think Drunken Wayfarer's gonna have to kill it. Can't have no squirrel roaching around my crops, you know? My crops are important. Don't want this thing to be eaten through them. All right, we're gonna run power lines real quick. Just run a very simple power line, and I do want to run a water line primarily because I am interested in running some sprinklers to accelerate the growth of our crops. I'm gonna run this like that, should be fine. So, anyways, yeah. Anime and manga is such an interesting thing. I mostly am just kind of watching silly stuff right now. I actually am slowly starting to get back into watching anime, even though it's been like a while. Like, I'm trying to still finish the Guild Master or Guild Receptionist anime, and I'm trying to catch up on Danmachi. I actually like Danmachi season 1, and I never got around to watching the rest of it, even though they're like got 4 seasons and a bunch of spin-off shows and all that stuff. I think there was a point in my life where I kind of pivoted to just watching normal movies on normal TV, but even now I'm kind of just like, whatever about them nowadays. Not sure if you're ever going to go back to watching anime. You know the solution, unironically, go watch anime while you do other things. That's usually my solution. Like, I'm doing something else while I watch anime as second monitor content. You know how, like, you probably have me on your second monitor and you're probably doing something else on your main screen? Because that's kind of me when I'm watching anime. It's second monitor content, right? I'm actually kind of curious how many people keep me on their second screen. Probably most of you, while you're doing something important on your main screen. That's always how it works, because that's what I do. You see, I'm more powerful. I have 3 screens, so sometimes a streamer gets demoted to third screen content. And it's even funnier because my third screen, I divide into an upper and lower section, so you could be third screen upper or third screen lower. Third screen lower is a lot more watchable, but that window size becomes like, what's 1080 divided by 2? Or what's 1920 divided by 2? That'd be like 960 by 1080 becomes your section of the screen. I think Wistoria is a bit more than Machi. They both like good stories. I need to watch Wistoria. They get overlaid by Steam instead. Ah, fair enough. Wait, my light show is annoying? I'm so sorry. Actually, if you ever want a good anime to watch, and by good I mean terrible, but I enjoy it, go watch Hidan no Aria. And if you really want to watch garbage, go watch Hidan no Aria AA. They're both stupid Gunkata wish fulfillment garbage, but I love it. It's so popular. It's at 40 volumes in the light novel, and it's never gonna get another season of anime because it's not that popular enough to dedicate an entire season of shows. Also, I think part of the problem too nowadays with this type of stuff is that the anime that I kind of used to watch, a lot of people probably consider like ecchi, and ecchi has very much fallen out of favor in the modern era for more, for more stories like Kimetsu no Yaiba and Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man type deal. I think the era of ecchi has kind of died away, especially with Western moral standards trying to be imposed on Japanese media, which I think it's kind of starting to fall out of favor. It's still there, obviously, but in the mainstream, for like mainstream anime, it's very much not there anymore, which is kind of like what I'm trying to get at. I'm 11th tab on screen. Oh, you know, at least I'm on a tab. I'll take it. Got a fun one called Cromarty High School. Let me see that one. Cromarty High School. Oh, I think I've seen this one. Yeah, I know which one this is. See the Ludwig podcast? No, I don't watch Ludwig. I used to watch a little bit of Ludwig, but I don't watch him anymore. I don't really watch a lot of crazy podcasts either. I think some of the stuff I mostly watch are like, God, I don't even watch streamers that much anymore nowadays. I'm not saying that to be mean, I just don't. Because part of the thing is, like, a lot of streamers are, like, the streamers that I am friends with are usually streaming at weird times or when I'm busy doing other things. Or if there might be streaming while I'm actually streaming. I also don't collab with anyone, so that's another problem, but that's a completely unrelated issue. They send death. Wait, what? Who's sending death threats to people who watch Madoka? Madoka is a fantastic series. Why? What logical reason could you send someone a death threat for watching Madoka? I swear to God, if it's something stupid like, oh, but they're children. Almost every character in anime and manga are kids. Who cares at this? Who cares? It's a dark, grim storyline about magical girls trying to fight against, like, you know, I'm trying to think of the best way to describe Madoka. Against their own sins, essentially, right? And then the consequences of those actions. I'm gonna watch the new Madoka movie when it comes out. I'm gonna go watch the new Girls und Panzer movie when it comes out. Nothing's gonna stop me from watching shows of cute girls doing cute things. I love Girls und Panzer. It's such a stupid franchise, but I love it. Girls und Panzer is probably like one of my absolute favorites of anime. 7 of my pioneers have gotten muscle parasites. Well, we'll deal with that in a bit. I legitimately am considering getting my hands on the Girls und Panzer video game and streaming it on Thursday. I'm not gonna tell you how I'm gonna get my hands on it, but I am legitimately considering seeing if I can find it, because it's actually never been sold in the US, but because Southeast Asia and Asia is such a popular market, they do translate it into English, and you just have to import a copy because region locks don't really exist anymore in this day and age. Anime Girls with Guns is an awesome concept. Oh my gosh. I just want to share this. Can I find it? There's this one guy I found on Twitter who's making his own game of cute girls, anime girls with guns. I think it's like some Korean developer. I saw it and I'm like utterly astounded at the quality of the work that he's putting together. Oh, I don't know if I'm following him. I saw it a couple times. I wonder if it's on my like list. But it's so well done. I'm sure I can find it if I scroll down. Oh, here we go. His name is like Mimikuo. I think he's actually Chinese. Okay, he's Chinese. But I just want to say, like, the quality of his stuff was so impressive. I was like, I really am impressed, and I was like, I really want to see this become like a full game. Hold on. This is an old tweet. Oh gosh, Twitter doesn't. Is this the guy? I think Twitter's not showing me the tweets in order. Yeah, it's not. But this guy makes like some really crazy stuff, and I love his 3D rendering and modeling, and I'm like, man, I hope this man actually makes like a proper game. I will buy it and I'll stream it. It's very much the definition of like tacticute. Like, look at this thing. It's tactical and it's cute. I hope it doesn't turn out to be a gacha game. That would suck. I cannot click on this image. It's not gonna let me. Look at it. It's adorable. And apparently, like, you can customize the character's hairstyle and other bits and pieces of their design. I'm like, man. And he's like modeling everything too. Like, he's modeling all the firearms himself. So here's like another example. God, this website. Twitter is such a terrible website. Like, look at the quality of. Oh my God, Twitter, please. I don't want to log in. Just let me zoom in on the image. Why does this website suck? Hold on. God. I hate this website so much. I can't click this without actually like ballooning it. I think it wants me. I think it's trying to make me log in, but I'm like, I'm not logging in. Oh shoot, hold on. We're gonna deal with the Hayashi event real fast, but like it's the. Oh my God. The guy's like manually doing all of this modeling, and it's really cool to see. And I'm like, man, I want to see this man's game at some point. I'll play it just because I'm a sucker for this type of stuff. Okay, turns out Hayashi was actually evil the entire time. Which I guess makes sense because he was a Dark Scholar and now he's betrayed us. So I think what we're gonna do is we're just gonna. He doesn't have a weapon, right? We could probably just capture him. Ranu's dying. You can probably just bean him. We don't want to kill Hayashi. We just want to knock him out and maybe put him into the prison bed until we can recruit him again. Umi can come here too. I don't play Girls Frontline. I used to play Girls Frontline 1 a long time ago, but I have not touched Girls Frontline 2 at all. I really don't like gacha that much, and despite the fact that it's very much like a what if it's you know, XCOM anime girls, I did not really find it super interesting enough to want to play, so I was like, whatever. There's a sight stealer? What do you mean there's a sight stealer? Oh, hello. What are you? Okay, you're gonna steal my eyes? I was gonna say steal my balls, and I'm like, that doesn't sound right. Kefir, you got a gun, right? Start blasting. Oh, there's a lot of them. Hello. That was way more than one. Okay, I thought it was one sight stealer. No, it's an army of them. Okay. Boomhouse doesn't have a gun, and my melee warriors are out and about. Let's get the knights out here. They're here to steal my eyeballs. I wish I was joking, but that's probably what they're here to do. Kefir shot one, but he's about to get beaten up. Okay. I'm gonna have Alana just try to tend to Hayashi, but this is gonna be a little rough. Umi does have a weapon, so we're gonna have Umi try to get over there. This is the start of anime. If you kill Hayashi's travel square bench, well, we're not gonna let that happen. But we do need to save our friend here from dying, because Kefir just got, oh my gosh, get obliterated. Okay, so hold on. They have to cross the river, right? We're gonna force them to cross the river. The knights stand at the sides. Everyone with a gun start blasting at range. Okay, we'll do what we can, but I will not allow them to. We will hold the river, is essentially my strategy. Oh my gosh, they hurt. Oh, they're invisible again. You're right, that's a thing. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Let's have you quickly. No, you stand over here, tend here. You undraft. Okay, Kefir's dying. Okay, I think that's everyone safe. Let's go cross. Let's go cross. There's still one more. Oh, there's a bunch over there. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna let the melee beaters worry about that. We're gonna let these four go down here. We gotta go save Kefir before our eyes get ripped out of our heads. Umi's ready to start blasting as well. Okay, let's start killing these things. Thankfully, the mighty ratkin are. Oh my! Wait, there were more. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Oh my god. I swear this happened yesterday too. Oh god, they're everywhere. Jesus Christ. Okay. Do we have any melee fighters that are in the base? Oh shit, no one actually has a melee. Okay, Avril has a gun. Okay, let's go there. No, you have a lance. That's what we were having you use. The knights have to run back real quick. Alana's gonna have to just go in there. Arano, I'm gonna have you try to bean Hayashi. Garm is about to get murdered real quick. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. That's kind of my own fault. Okay, another sight stealer has been revealed. That's fine. Drunken Wayfarer has a gun. Start blasting. That's a lot of them. Okay, good. Shoot the next one. Good. Okay, just fight. Okay. Garm's trying to get back inside. Okay, get inside. We got this corridor ready to start blasting. Okay, we just want to capture Hayashi, who's armless now. Okay, have you go back there. Okay, Kefir's got 4 hours. Okay, we're gonna have Ixonia tend. And then I'm gonna have these three run back into the base. I need to put doors here. I keep forgetting to put doors there. Okay, Garm's holding what he can, holding on. Keep running back. Oh, we got some friendly fire, unfortunately. That's fine. Start blasting what we can. Okay, unfortunately we are running out of bullets, or running out of shots, so we'll have to hold the line. Boomhouse has no weapon. Okay, these two need to get over here. Space Case got deleted. He's got 4 hours, and that's okay. Drunken Wayfarer. Umi is a mild doctor. Okay, so we'll have Umi be the doctor and tend here, and then we'll go over here. We got to get more weapons on people. There's like one left over there. We're trying to gun it down before it kills us all. Okay, is everyone still alive? I see another exclamation point of danger. That's fine. Okay, so we'll have these guys undraft. That's okay. Okay. These two are fighting. That's okay. Let's go over here and try to get Garm. We're going to tend to Garm right there. Z-Pulse is here to help save. That was a wacky fight that I was not anticipating. Okay. What are you dying of? So, do they actually try to steal your vision, or are they just like... Okay. They're fragile, but psychic influence to render themselves invisible to get the closer victims amid haunting screams. Okay, that's right. Okay. Okay. I think that's fine. Okay, we're gonna undraft you. Let's see, we gotta start tending to all these injuries. Anyone a good doctor? Okay, let's just try to get everyone tended here. That was really nasty. You are gonna come over here, and you're gonna tend right over there. Have we rescued the dying Kefir? Kefir is dying, but will likely survive. And then we will capture Hayashi, and then we're gonna re-recruit Hayashi, and then all will be fine. Okay, so Garm is needing to be rescued, so just rescue Garm. And then we're just gonna bean all of these to death. I don't know what, I don't think I can do anything with these. We're just gonna kill them all. I usually don't do content from whatever this thing is called. Anomaly. I remember seeing some, okay, here, you wanna know something funny about Anomaly? So there's a website out there that someone made that's about to be like, hey, here's how to try to make your mod list less laggy. And you want to know what they put on there? They're like, don't install Anomaly because it'll make your game slow. And I was like, I was told that that website is completely nonsensical because apparently the guy just hates anything that even provides even the slightest amount of lag or something. Something silly like that. Okay, should be alive. Yeah, no one surprisingly died, but there is a lot of injuries, and we're trying to tend to those injuries. Hello, Alana. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Need to get Boomhouse a weapon. Okay, Steve has a knife. I need Steve to go kill the swan. But swan kills... Or Risten kill the swan. Okay, Risten kill the swan. The performance cult has issues. So I've heard the performance cult has some pretty intense obsession with having the most perfect of TPS numbers and whatnot. He's still alive. Anomaly is actually not vanilla Rimworld. Anomaly is a mod, but you can turn off mods. Okay, I don't know why Ranu moves at 17. Oh, that's right, Ranu's got brain damage. Right, okay. No, it's DLC is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, no, Anomaly's not vanilla. It's very much DLC. Speaking of which, we shouldn't be hearing about the new DLC if they're making one soon, right? We're almost at July. The totally copium that says, hey, you know, we should be hearing about new content. Maybe I'm crazy. People have different definitions of vanilla, but most people, when they say vanilla, is just official content. Yeah, see, the thing is, I always assume vanilla is anything that's just in the base game, and everything after that you would consider like expansion content. That's how I always say it. That's how, at least that's my interpretation. Also, hi Ray, how are you? How's your workout, since I assume you're probably dying from your wacky adventure? Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna tend to, okay, where's Alana? Okay, time to wakey. It's time to tend over here. And then we're just gonna insta recruit Hayashi since his resistance is basically 0 anyways, so we'll just recruit him right away. If I can find the recruit button. And get back here. Okay, so Hayashi's back. Alana's coming over here to tend, hopefully. I think you got to tend without medicine because he's about to die in about 2 hours. So time is of the essence right now. Vanilla versus... Okay, that's fair enough. I see what you're saying. Yeah. You're broken. How bad was how much bad was the workout? Oh my god. What is happening? Okay, hold on. Now we're being attacked again by tribesmen. And okay, hold on. They attack immediately. They prepare for a while, then attack. Okay, hold on. We have time. We may not be ready for this though, which is the problem, which means we gotta really get ready for this. You get back into the bed. Okay. We're being attacked by the Treaty of Galga. It was upper body day. Ah, so your arms are dying, and your chest, and your muscles, and everything else. Boy, that is a lot of dudes. Okay. We did not redistribute the ballista bolts yet, which is a problem. So what I can do at the very least is anyone with a gun. So basically everyone but Garm. I can probably have... The problem is they're coming in 3 different sections, right? A bunch of them do have stick bombs, which we have to worry about. We're really getting run over now, huh? How many of the knights are injured? All 3 knights are capable of fighting, so that's good. So we'll probably have to draft them soon. I want them to be ready, though. You can prepare then attack. I could have them run in. They could probably fight them off, but is it worth the risk? I don't know. There's a single ballista bolt here that we could maybe abuse, which we will abuse. If we can maybe force a few of them to start striking at us bit by bit, that's probably what I want to do. Okay, just have your gun here. It's fine. Let's have everyone go to stay in home area. Okay, but yeah, I see what you're saying. But my understanding is that the performance people... Oh, no, Daisy's getting shot. No. I can't control Daisy to get back here, but oh no, Daisy's getting peppered with shotgun slugs. Daisy's down. I don't think I can save Daisy. That flak vest did what it could, but it couldn't protect Daisy forever. One of my choices to rescue Daisy. Okay, let's get you here. Let's get you here. Oh wait, we're still trying to tend to Hayashi, right? Hayashi's probably okay. Swap Hayashi, swap out Alana for a different doctor. Okay, I want Alana up here. And then I need a builder to go grab, or to break down the walls, essentially. Here and here. Quickly grab. And then we're just going to have to hold them down at this corridor. So whoever's got a weapon and can fight is going to have to hold down that line. We don't have that many people that can fight. So whoever can fight, they're going to have to do what you can. We're trying to force these guys to get closer to us. Thankfully, Airman's a pretty good sniper. Suddenly fully exploring the depths of drama would involve some... And oh, that bad? How bad could it have been that NDAs are involved now? Goodness gracious. Oh my god, these muscle parasites are a problem. And what matters your mod list runs well? Well, unfortunately, I'm one of those people without a good working mod list. I probably need to trim my mod list at some point. Okay, you start deconstructing this wall. These two need to get over here ASAP. We gotta rescue Daisy. I don't know if we'll be able to, but we're gonna try. Depends how fast we can dismantle these walls. Okay, we are at least shooting them down, so that's pretty good. If we do this though, we are opening us up to attack. So I'm gonna pull Riston out here. Okay, then now Ray's gonna go in, deconstruct the wall. I don't think Ray's fast enough to do this. I think Daisy's dead. Hawksby decided to come out here. Maybe Hawksby's fast enough to tend. Let's see. And then you're gonna stand over here. Come on, if we just tend a few injuries, that's fine. Okay, so we're gonna grab Hawksby. We're gonna have you carry Daisy, pull back in here immediately. Riston's coming in. Okay, that's fine. Let's get back in here. Okay, you're gonna quickly drop Daisy. You're gonna go over here. You're gonna tend without medicine. Okay. That was a little crazy, but we should be fine. Okay, so this area is ready to defend. Daisy should survive since Alana's healing speed is super high. Despite the muscle parasites causing you huge problems with your ability to tend, your manipulation has been cratered because of the muscle parasites. That's annoying, annoying, annoying. Okay. Doing what we can to hold the lines. You're still shooting there. We've knocked out a few. Oh boy. Airman Joker needs to sleep soon too is the problem. Everyone's getting tired. Their days have been long. Oh my god. My back. Alright, I will use the restroom after this fight though. I will use the restroom after this fight. You know what we need? We need a Rimworld anime. I'm sure that's a thing that someone would probably totally fund if we had money for it. I would totally fund it if I had ridiculous amounts of funds. I need to get more people with guns. They have stick bombs, which I'm very concerned about. That's usually like my biggest concern. I don't usually care about most of the rest of it. Okay, so that batch is fleeing. So now we're going to pivot these guys to the other side over here. Have to just keep holding the line as best as we can. And we'll deal with them later. They don't have much of anything that's worth keeping. Their lives are forfeit. They are nothing but pawns to be ripped apart and destroyed. In fact, we may sacrifice them for organs. In fact, one of the main issues is Hayashi's actually missing an arm. Also, I don't know why Alana's out there, but Alana's dying, so we may need to fix that at some point. So our head maid is now dying of injuries. That's fun. You should probably eat that food right now. Okay, so that's okay. Let's have Ziryu come up here real quick. Depends on who runs the show. Is it Netflix? Probably getting good. I don't know what it is with Netflix show adaptations and why they're always so janky. I have seen a few Netflix originals and generally they're kind of okay, but then I saw that they're doing, I mentioned this yesterday, but they're doing Persona as like a Netflix original live action. And I'm like, does Persona really need a live action series? The answer is no, it doesn't. But they're gonna do it anyways because, I don't know, people are crazy. Ron is collapsing to extreme exhaustion. Okay, you can go back. Alana's dying. Why don't you self-tend real quick since you can do that? And we'll worry about that in a bit. Daisy should be fine. All right. Last batch of enemies we gotta survive. Okay, also, I forgot about this. You got malnutrition. Let's have you quickly just rescue Kefir and then you can go back and eat food. Okay, this is gonna be the nastiest fight, but here's my strategy. So Riston's got this big, giant, explodey gun. I don't know if he can use it at this range. He might not be able to. I'm trying to have Riston hold the line. Ziryu's shooting down the corridor. They did break through. Oh, did I not seal this? This tile might not have been sealed the entire time. Shoot, it wasn't. Okay, the guns are holding the line here. We have a few knights ready to replace the frontliners. So we'll have Xanth ready to intercept. That's about to fling a grenade. Oh, that's what I was afraid of. God dang it, I was afraid of that. Oh, it's always the grenades. Okay. Space battles. What's space battles? Okay, Marksman's holding the line. Okay, maybe we shouldn't have exploded on top of Marksman, who now has permanent blast injuries. We may need to fix that. Okay, they're fleeing. This batch is still fighting. Okay, they're willing to fight to the bitter end, I see. Alana needs to get over here, quickly rescue Xanth. And then over here, Marksman's alive. They gave up. Okay, that's fantastic. Okay, let's quickly just make sure their injuries can be permanently handled. Here, grab you. Okay. You're fine. Z-Posers managed to hold them up. Okay, we're gonna undraft. We're gonna tend to all the injuries now. We aren't really gonna rescue any of these people because I don't really care enough. Okay, Syria, we're gonna undraft you. Okay, we do not have enough actual hospital beds for once. Compact assault meters landed nearby, which thankfully isn't destroying anything. That's great. Okay, so Xanth is here. Alana's on the way over here, although she's also exhausted and overworked. But I need you to quickly tend real fast, and then Sun is gonna go into medical emergency mode so we can tend to everyone's injuries quickly. Marksman did unfortunately die, so I was not able to save Marksman. Okay, you're fine. Your injuries are fine. Okay, you got injuries. Okay, who else is dying? Xanth is dying over here, but we might be able to get Xanth in time. But we do need to tend to these remaining conditions. Okay. Alana did ultimately collapse in the middle of trying to tend to Xanth, but that's okay. Okay, so undraft you. And then we'll just have someone grab Xanth over here, bring him back to the bed, and then we should be okay. It's a little rough, but we lost one. Space Battles is a fanfiction writing prompt site. Let me look this up. Space Battle website. I did not know that's a thing. Popular forums celebrating creative writing, and this is a very clean website. I know some people who are like into writing. I used to be really into writing, but I got lazy. I feel like my biggest issue when it comes to like a lot of creative projects is I just get lazy. I wish I wasn't, but it's a tragedy that I am. All right, we're gonna go bury our friend and comrade Immortal, who was not able to survive the sheer amount of injuries that they sustained, mostly from friendly fire. That Ratkin gun lance sure did a lot of damage, just not in the direction I think we wanted it to go. Also, for whatever reason, these combat suits don't end up being tainted, so I'm just gonna strip that off of Marksman and just take that for ourselves. I forgot Ranu just like moves at the speed of like nothing. Have Exonia quickly grab that body, and then we'll have Sun take that uniform off, I think. Royal Road. Did you ever find the Royal Road account? I thought most people didn't know what it was. Maybe it was that easy to find. Think of a Rimworld anime. There's a YouTuber who should be the one. Please. Oh, I know exactly. I think I know which one you're talking about. The animations. I know exactly which one you're talking about. A lot of worm fictions, but not there's worm. Maybe I'll look at the Space Battles website at some point. Death battle discussions. You mean like those that one YouTube channel that's just like who would live or die? You know, like death battle type content. I mean that stuff is kind of fun too. It was like the problem with like that type of stuff is trying to figure out like when you're trying to figure out power level scalings is that when you have two different types of media, the power level scalings are completely different. I might need to watch those a little bit more. I haven't seen those animations in a hot minute. Okay. We're gonna do these festivals in a bit too, but for the time being, since we've kind of resolved the everything, Alana's on the verge of a mental breakdown. That's fine. Let's get Ray to build out the new grave as quickly as possible. Since, again, emergency triage, you gotta do what you gotta do. We gotta rebuild these walls. We really need automated defenses. Those I think that's gonna be the next research thing. I was gonna do vitals monitor, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna can these two and swap into automated. Okay, hold on. I'm sure one of these is the automated defense. I don't like this. I need to change my research tree mod. I think this one is like weirdly laggy, and I don't know why. I've never had such an issue. Gun turrets, there we go. So it's like at least another 2 steps. We'll grab that real quick. Okay. So now that we've managed to survive and we're just in the middle of triage, I think I will let the game run for a hot minute. Let me actually just bury. Let's go bury marksman real quick. Do that. Okay, I actually don't really read that much fan fiction nowadays. I used to, but it's not a thing that I'm like usually reading most of the time. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that was rough. Let's do the funeral. We'll do the funeral when I come back. In the meanwhile, let's just kind of let this operate, and then I don't think any of these people had anything worth taking, but I will kind of... I guess we should probably rescue this last goober. Rescue them. All right, I'll be right back. You can gawk at this. We'll build more hospital beds in the near future. We need them anyways. Oh, I think our people are dying. I'm seeing the words infection to my... Well, right there. Who's infected? Xanth is infected. All right, Xanth is dying. Congratulations on your brand new chest infection, which we now have to fix. We have to fix a lot of injuries. I think... Okay, let me just take a quick stock. What do I actually need to manufacture? Because we're kind of low on everything, primarily steel and components that we need. Like, we can't even make the fabrication bench because we just don't have any components for some reason, and that is very, very important. In fact, do we really not have any components? We don't have enough. Okay. Healthcare is a bit... I mean, listen, we have a hospital. It's not the best hospital. It gets you tended to. It's not going to keep you alive if you're missing parts. Like, let's take a look at Xanth. Okay, Xanth, you got a stomach injury. You got... Your arm is... I think... Okay, let's see. So, scarifications. That's fine. Muscle parasites on a bunch of people. Let's see. Oh, Havel's missing a lung. Okay. Hayashi's missing an entire arm. Kefir's missing a nose. Rano's got a brain scar. Risten's missing 2 toes for some reason. Space Case has a plethora of injuries, bite scars. A lot of scars going around, and Ziryu's missing an arm. I think I was trying to make prosthetics, but... Okay, we actually do have a spare lung. Holy cow, I don't know why we have a spare lung. I'm not going to question this. Let's give this lung to... Who is missing a lung? Havel. Congratulations to Comrade Havel, who is the proud recipient of a brand new synthetic lung that I happen to have just been holding on to this entire time. How long has this been here? Who knows? I'm not going to question it. Let's just have Ilana do this. The problem is that she's got the muscle parasite, so her manipulation's cratered, and this is going to last for a while longer, which is super annoying, but it should be fine. Anyways, I was in the restroom. I looked at my phone, and I saw that apparently that Stop Killing Games thing went to some place in California, and the ESA, the Electronic Software Association, basically was trying to make the argument, well, technically Minecraft servers are illegal too. Like, hosting your own Minecraft server is illegal against, like, in the terms of license or something like that. So apparently my Minecraft server is now considered illegal according to bureaucrats for some reason. The Minecraft server that no one really plays on, but I think it's just kind of fun. Oh, you know what the problem is? I just realized, since we have all these alpacas, I forgot to set an alpaca limit. Holy cow, so many animals. 4 alpacas at most. I don't want any more than that. Because it's going to be so much to handle. We do need to start killing more wildlife as well. Let's kill these. The rats is fine. We'll kill the muffalo in a bit. That should be okay. Again, on the shot pace that would not take down anyone like toes. I mean, to be fair, you don't really need your toes to walk, right? So you should be fine. Don't worry, we'll get you some better armor eventually. But right now, my main concern is improving our automated defenses and maybe giving people better rifles. Right now, everyone's kind of just running around with single-shot rifles. But I think it's time that we finally moved on from single-fire weapons into the joys of gas-powered blowback operation. Oh, so a bunch of travelers want charity. What the heck do they want? They want 70 herbal medicine. If I don't fulfill it, we're all going to be sad. How much herbal meds am I sitting on? Am I sitting on that many? Yeah, I guess we are. I never liked these quests where it's just like, oh, good sir, we are so poor. Can you please give us your entire, like, half your stockpile of medicine? It's just like, no, go away. I don't want to give you all of my stuff. Why would I even accept that? But you kind of don't have a choice otherwise, especially if you take a certain ideology, because then your people get sad and you have no choice. So you kind of work with it anyways. We're going to run the funeral. We'll trade with them in a bit. Our moral guide is knocked out temporarily. I don't think it was marksman, but... Oh, actually, I think it might have actually been marksman. No, who is it? It's really hard to read these icons. Umi, Sun. Let me see here. You're the nurse. You're the head maid. Who's the moral guide? Oh, it's Havel. Havel's unfortunately knocked out for the time being. Evil Boomlope. Why is there always evil Boomlope? Stop having evil things showing up to the colony. Oh my god. We gotta get rid of these two. Apparently someone's ship chunks came in and destroyed our stuff. Okay, so fantastic funeral. Everyone's gonna be happy. We can reform ideology. We're gonna do that right now. Let's add a new meme. I hate that they're called memes, even though it's technically the correct term. So we're individualist, healthcare focus. What is our next Focus. I'm surprised there's no cleanliness meme, but I guess we'll work with that. Let's see. What do we enjoy? City builders? We don't really like traveling that much. So perhaps we are city builders. We want to stay in a permanent base, and we don't like traveling that much. So I think we'll take this one. I think this will be fun. Unlike a lot of runs where we travel a lot, this one's perfectly fine. All right. What does this actually do? Travel less than 5 days ago. What do you some crazy penalties just for stepping outside? That's so ridiculous. But the longer you stay in 20 different buildings. Oh, you need unique individual buildings, but the problem is that the way I've designed this is that it's one big giant fat building. Hello, Marksman, you just died. We just buried you and we did your funeral. I'm so sorry. Transhumanists? Shipborne blood sky seekers. Craft culture is also kind of an option. Progressive is probably fine. Let's see, God Emperor Elders. You know, Elder Veneration's kind of interesting. Maybe we'll do... What if we're aristocratic? Aristocratic maids. What else we got? Human primacy, shipborne. I think we'll do... Oh, proselytizing I think is fine too. Yeah, we'll do proselytizing. We must always spread our beliefs. That's fine. Fine. And the rest of this is fine. Okay, cool. And then we'll go give them the medicine that these people are asking of us. I'm not that cruel of a person. I will give them as they desire. Well, yeah, I don't know what's going on with like the whole ESA thing. I think the whole like stop killing games thing got blocked in the EU. And so I think they were trying to push some laws in California saying like, y'all, you know, we shouldn't be required to maintain games for many, many years after no one wants to play them anymore, or offer a single player option, which I think was like the whole crux of the argument. And so, God, what do I even do with these corpses? Also, I don't know who slammed a uranium ore, but it somehow managed to not destroy the sauna. I think someone is looking out for the sauna, and I'm all for it. We're gonna throw in the corpses of the... How do I add the weird corpses here? I need to dump in entity corpses. There we go. Yeah, let's throw in these entity corpses. We don't really want the rest of this in here because they're just gonna stink up the place, and who knows, they might come back to life and cause us problems later down the line, and I'm not gonna want to deal with that at all. So anyways, yeah, I don't know if anyone really pays attention to that type of stuff, but I do kind of keep up with video game news as much as I can because it gets kind of interesting. I still feel really bad for anyone who's in the industry. I saw something about Microsoft basically announcing that they're probably going to kill off like 5 more studios, including Arcane and some other ones. And it's like, the gaming industry just can't catch a break is all I'm going to say. It is just... It's so tragic. And it's just like, the problem too is that you can tell a lot of it is Microsoft not making enough money on their AI stuff, so they're gonna sacrifice anything that spends money, like video game development, which is very much hit-based, and now they're trying to use that fund so they can go, you know, keep their AI division up and alive. There's so much slop and play to save. I mean, that's also true too. Like there is a lot of slop, but not everything is slop. There's a decent amount of good content out there. Oh, we could save this moose. I think we just kill the moose. We gotta build more beds. I need more. Am I really out of components? Can I really not make this thing? I could have sworn there was a few compacted machinery meteors that I guess I have completely somehow missed. It'll give me like 8. Okay, so I think the solution is we might need to go dig that out and then dig this up. Well, the thing is too, it's not just, well, Steam, okay, Valve, okay, here's the thing, Steam and Valve are like a little different, right? Like, yeah, you can find, like, there's a lot of slop that gets uploaded onto Steam because Steam is very open. They used to have that Steam Greenlight thing, but it was not super popular, and so it's just easier to let people upload what they want onto Steam after like an initiation fee of $100, and they just take their 30% cut. But there is a lot of garbage on there. But to be fair, you can find garbage everywhere, and a lot of people don't necessarily want to upload their games to Steam until it's at an acceptable release state. Like Star Sector basically will not be on Steam until they reach their 1.0. They've already said that before, and they'll reiterate it again. And a lot of games, you know, probably will just never end up on Steam for one reason or another. Like Fortnite, whatever you want to call it, will never end up on Steam. We're gonna grow tea here. This is our tea growing facility, so I would like to grow tea. Give me all the tea. There we go. A lot of quantity, but qualities aren't rare to find. The thing is, you see, my solution for that is I just look at what other people say is fun, and I'll play those games instead. I don't necessarily have a reason to go play, you know, insert name of work slop game, because what's the point? I hate work slop. I'd rather just play an actual video game. Surprisingly enough, that is kind of a rare concept nowadays. Everyone wants to make like the latest indie hit, and a lot of them are honestly kind of bad. Which, no, that's just how it is, right? What are you gonna do? Especially too with video games, just like VTubers. There's only so many hours in a day to play video games. You're not gonna... Most people don't have time to play all of them. They have to be, you know, really picky about what games they play. And that's just the unfortunate reality of it. You know, as much as I like playing video games, I don't get a chance to play that many video games in my free time. Streaming, like, imagine this. You wanna know what my day is like? I get up at like 8. I'd be a human adult for about until 4:30. I have to do my commutes in between, and then I get home. I maybe rest for like an hour and a half. If I eat food, maybe I'll take a short nap, and then I stream for 4 hours. Which, to be fair, this is basically my video game time. Streaming is essentially my video gaming time nowadays. And then yeah, and then at that point, it's like there's no more other time to do video games. Tragic, isn't it? It's tragic. So I sometimes play off stream, like right after. Hold on, let me grab my phone charger. Actually, you know what's really cursed? I have been really addicted to playing... I've been really addicted to playing Civ 7 after stream recently, and it's really annoying because 1, I am apparently really bad at Civ 7 compared to 6, and 2, that next turn button gets really mighty fine and tasty. I legitimately will be like, oh, just one more turn, just one more turn, just one more turn, you know, while Ray is falling asleep, and then before I realize it, oh, it's 2 a.m, I need to go to sleep, but I'm also like, oh, I'm only 10 turns away from the end of the arrow, let me just do 10 more turns, and it's so bad for me. It's actually like a decent game, but it's so cursed that that's the reality of how this is played. Oh my gosh, it's so weird. Okay, hold on, what are we doing now? So Ray's still pretty injured. The problem is that the bruises make her move super slow. I did want to build out some of this other stuff. Yeah, I could also play City Skylines. Honestly, I'm kind of just waiting for a bit more content for City Skylines. I would love for I unironically want a toll booth DLC. Does that sound weird? I really enjoyed the concept of toll booths in City Skylines 1 as DLC. I'm like, I really wish we had them in City Skylines 2 just because it'll feel more appropriate. People don't get on the highway for free. It's never free. You gotta pay the troll toll. Unless you're in a state or city or locale that lets you have the highway for free. But like in my area, the tolls can get rank up pretty quickly. And on top of that, like if you're in Japan, the tolls are like comically high too, because obviously they want to discourage people from driving whenever they can. But I'd like to use that DLC so I can make roadside rest stops, because I'm a sucker for that type of thing. I don't know why. I really enjoy the concept of roadside rest stops and just kind of seeing what other regions kind of embrace with that type of thing. Like in the South, you've got Buc-ee's. In the Midwest, you've got, you know, Love's gas stations and rests and travel centers. In Japan, they're basically like mini shopping centers as well. It's just a lot of variety. So I like to explore the ones in Japan. That's why I told Rhea, yeah, we're gonna get a car and we're gonna drive some of the highway some of the time. Also, so I have an excuse to drive in the mountains and totally not crash and burn. Just gotta be a little careful, right? That's all you gotta do. As long as you don't get don't get injured. Oh my gosh, we have blowback powered firearms now. So with this mighty power, I can make automatic weapons. Now, the automatic Ratkin weapons are... What do we got? Okay, so we have automatic guns, sniper rifles. We have Ratkin light machine guns. It's basically as good as we're gonna get. We also have Ratkin shotguns. We could also just upgrade to DMS weapons, which I am considering because I think it'd be kind of fun to just kind of standardize our weapons for that type of stuff. But again, trying to avoid that for the time being. By the way, we do have a lot of flour. Just don't know what to do with all this flour yet. We will actually start baking things. Actually, I'm going to start making meat pies. Let's see. We're going to make another cooler. Maybe 2 of these here. And then we're going to set these to link settings, storage. Clear all pies. Meat pie. Which is tragic because it's considered a simple meal, but I guess I can't make it any fancier than that. And we can at least do this until we are sitting at about 60 meat pies. We'll do that. There we go. We'll have some beautiful meat pies for our beautiful comrades who are so hungry after a long days of work. Also, I forgot that tomorrow we do have Fire Emblem. I have not updated the ROM. I'll try to get around to doing it soon. I know the run has been... I think we got like 4 more episodes of the run, probably. Depends how much ROM hacking I have to do, but we're looking at 3 to 4 more episodes. And then we'll be done, and then we probably won't touch Fire Emblem for a hot minute. Again, I like Fire Emblem, but boy, gee howdy, does it have... it's got problems of its own. Okay, they are leaving us stuff. It's gonna be hard snow with fertile rain, which is gonna be an interesting combination, so I'm curious to see how that's gonna look. By the way, look at our beautiful apple field. It's almost ready to start producing fruit. Isn't it wonderful? We've waited so long for this giant fruit machine to finally bear fruit, and I am all for it. Okay, there we go. Let's build this out. We really got to get this fabrication bench built now. In fact, Riston, I'm gonna have you just deliver everything we need to... Oh, will you not deliver? Why is this not being built? Is it just because I straight up don't have the parts for it? Alright, we may need to do some trading. Yeah, I think we might have to do some trading in the near future. Alright, let's go pull up our... Let's see. Using the Iron Emblem as your base. I might need to look at the Iron Emblem. I mean, I've played Iron Emblem 1. I didn't finish it. But Iron Emblem is also kind of has a very specific amount of like level of balance that I think is not what I'm looking for necessarily in a PME. I think PMEs are more fun when you can have like silly shenanigans going on. Iron Emblem is very much like it's a roguelike experience, right? And you're expecting people to die all the time. Okay, let's do world map, form a caravan. We're gonna go to our trading partner. Let's see, we're gonna send not Ray. We'll send Ranu's injured, right? Ranu's brain damage, that's right, so we can't send Ranu anymore. We'll send, I think Immortal's probably fine. We'll send Immortal, and we'll send one of the knights. We'll send Riston. We'll send in the 2 big Muffalo. Don't take the Glitter World medicine. Take the couple simple meals, and then we're trading away. Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily want it necessarily to have story between viewers, but I think it does add a little bit of like self-developing, you know, funny plot lines more than anything. Hello, Drunken Wafer. How are you doing, comrade? That's kind of why I do that. Still a fertilizer for a good chunk of change. I need components. What do I want to sell? Anything worth money? I think I want to keep all that. Probably sell the flak pants and Chemlight pack that's made out of that. Sell that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need the burqa. Probably keep the rest of it for now. Keep the guns. Sell the jabs. Keep the kumis. And I think that's fine. I think we keep the stomach just in case. You never know when you need to give someone a new stomach, so that's probably fine. Yeah, okay, let's go with that. Yeah, let's go with that. Change route over here. Accept, send instantly. Go. That's true. We could figure out how to do it for Fire Emblem Awakening with children characters, which is a whole nother disaster that we'd have to figure out. Fire Emblem Awakening I think if I ever did a Awakening PME, I'd probably just be like, all right, we're gonna do a Robin quest, so submit your Robins and then we'll put it all together, because I don't really know how to do it. I think there's actually like a mod that someone did, because you essentially convert the, what were they called? Einherjas cards into your custom characters that you want to play, and just edit the data in it, I think is how that works, is what I remember. So we'd have to essentially get our way through the first couple levels, and then we can set this up, and that could be how it's done, but I don't know. Also, what do you mean you ran out of tea? I don't know Norse shenanigans. Fire Emblem's got like a weird thing where they really like Norse things, like Einherjas, and then you've got the thing in Fire Emblem Heroes where you had like all the all the characters that have like Norse names and Norse gnomes and Norse mommy dommies and all that stuff, and it's just like, all right, well, this is, I guess, what the people want. Unpronounceable things to the common individual, although I guess in Japanese they probably sound a lot cooler. That's usually the gimmick. God, we have so much rice. Is this food going to be enough to get us through the winter? We are approaching the end of summer, so we got to make sure we have all our food ready to rumble. So that's kind of why I'm ordering all this to be hauled in as soon as we possibly can. My guess is that the way it would work is that if you have a way to inject your own data into the ROM, right? There's probably a program out there to do this. You can probably just do like a image replacement, and then after that you can just change the text file or like the name association with that character, and you should probably be fine. All right, let's go trade with these people. I'd like to trade. All right, so I'm gonna give you all. Oh, they're not willing to buy all the leathers. That's interesting. Okay, that's interesting. Oh wait, that's all leather we brought. Never mind, I'm silly. I would like to buy all of your components. Where are your components? They do not have components for sale, which is a bit of a problem. Wow, they really don't have any components. That's a bit of an issue. Well, I'll buy all their plasteel because that's actually relevant, and then I'll sell this, and this. And I guess I just take the silver and leave. There is an empire there that we could trade with, but we don't have anyone with the requisite title. I think we have to bring Ray next time. There is a faction over there. We could trade there. Yeah, let's go trade over there. It's a bit of a longer hike, but it's only 0.3 days. It should be okay. It's a Norse, a completely different language. Same with Greek. I mean, it is a completely different language. I'm just saying that a lot of recent Fire Emblem stuff has a lot of like Norse etymology type thing. If you especially look at Fire Emblem Heroes, where all the names are just like, this character's name is Fjorm, and this character's name is Fire Emblem Heroes characters. There's a lot of like terminology in there. I cannot remember off the top of my head exactly how it works, but there's like stuff like that. Fjorm, Niffles, Gunthra, Hrids, Ylgurs, and then you got like Muse spells and Suturs and Lygarns and Leviathans. I'm pretty sure I've been saying these names incorrectly, but that's fine. I'm sure it's fine. You come to this, I say names and I say words all incorrectly all the time. I'm sure I can say names incorrectly and no one's gonna bat an eye at this point. This person's got Scaria, which we gotta protect. Oh, this one's Berserk. Oh, geez. Can I refuse to take Berserk patients? Mostly because I don't want them to beat up my animals. This one's gone a little cuckoo. Oh, shoot, I killed her. Did not mean to kill her. Zeopulsar punched her head off. Oh my god. Zeopulsar straight up cut her head off. Okay, not what I was intending. Yeah, exactly. Like all the different realms were very Norse inspired, which is fine. I like that. There's nothing wrong with that. It is something I just catch though. All right, let's do that. I need more components. Yeah, I was not expecting his head to just come clean off. That is a lot scarier than I was anticipating. See, this is what happens when you're roided up and you're just ready to beat the ever-loving daylights out of anything that wrongs you. Let's do the celebration while it's midday. We can kind of do that now that we've kind of recovered from our injuries. We should also move all the silver into the safe unless the safe is full. Just kidding, I forgot to allow things to go into the safe. That's probably why. Forgot our visitors from Stidham, that's fine. We'll let them do their thing. But yeah, I mean, Fire Emblem's always had like European influence, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just kind of find it funny that it's a lot of Norse influence in a lot of different games. Gotta drink my water. So, I don't know. I personally find more inspiration from... God, I think in my case, a lot of times when I start thinking of like what I do for creative writing, it ends up being looped back from Japanese interpretations of European fantasy. And we just kind of like, we're just looping all the way back around. Do these people have components? Please tell me they do. They do! And I can buy about half of them. Maybe a little more of that. Let's buy a few more. Until I max out my credit card balance. Perfect. Buy that, and then we gotta run back home. Okay, run back. Takes about 1 day. They have enough food to get by. That's fine. We do need to get rid of these corpses as well. Let's get rid of that. You know, funny about FE, but funny if the enemies and heroes are based on Greek myth. So essentially, no. The bad guys and good guys are all just based off of Norse mythology. A lot of the characters' names I look at, and I literally, like, a lot of the realm names I just look at and I have no idea how to pronounce it. Like, there's one called Losalfheimer, and then there's another one called Dokalfheimer and stuff like that. It's a lot of like the funny symbols that like the O and the A's with the little dashes above them, and the funny it's like that funny, what's the word I'm thinking of? Or like the umlaut, or like the O or the D that's got that weird spelling. It's like they don't call it Asgard. It's like it's Asgard, but it's spelled like with Norse lettering, I guess. I don't know how to describe it beyond that. A lot of times you can kind of just take these names and you can just probably pronounce it the way you think it's pronounced. It's just written in the original script, I guess, to make it look cooler and more exotic. Like, it's, yeah, we know it's Asgard, but I guess it's, you could look at it and be like Asgarder, or, you know, something like that. And the only reason I know how to vaguely pronounce some of these things is because I played so much For Honor, and I got really knee deep into the lore of For Honor, because For Honor actually has some lore. It's stupid lore, but there's lore. And the characters, you know, kind of speak in their native tongue. It's just very modern. It's kind of sometimes a little modernized. Like, yeah, you got the samurai speaking Japanese, you got the Vikings speaking Nordic, except for the one that's technically Scottish, so you just hear him screaming. You basically have an army of angry bearded Vikings, and then you have a lone Scotsman joining them in the fray for some reason. It's really funny. Oh man, For Honor is such a funny game. Keep wondering if they're gonna make a For Honor 2, but probably not. Probably not. Oh my god, I've been drinking so much water. Holy moly. You know what I might need to invest in? I might need to invest into, what do you call them? Coasters? Because I think I don't, and then my water cup just starts... Oh wait, I forgot what I was doing here. I forgot I was going to put chairs here. I can't afford the components to put chairs here. Alright, we're not putting chairs there right now. We'll put chairs in a bit. I'm just so out of components. If we can just build the fabrication bench, I think all of our problems would be solved. Because that thing is so component heavy. If we can just get all of them, we'll be good to go. Let's haul these in over here. Actually, can I have you deliver? Construction skill too low. Can anyone deliver? Is Ray the only one that can work on this? She's not allowed to deliver the items until this thing is ready to be fully built, which is super annoying. And I guess without the components, you can't really build it, which, what are you going to do? All right, fine. We're going to research medicine, by the way, so we can actually start making medication. I think we've been... Oh, here we go. Let's start making meds. So whoever's not doing anything, I would like you to manufacture copious amounts of high-quality medication to ensure our survivability in these trying times. Okay, by the way, here's our meat pies. Isn't it wonderful? Our colonists have so many choices for food. All right, we essentially have a perpetual smorgasbord of meals ready to eat. You can have your MRE kebab, you can have your MRE steak, you can have your MRE mystery meat, you can have your MRE meat pies. God, can you even... God, although the concept of a MRE meat pie sounds incredibly cursed. Because I don't even know how you would be able to make a meat pie be shelf stable. Effie has always had a mythological inspiration. One of the most heavy-handed ones in the game by Kaga. Turing Saga has the mythological inspiration. Oh, trust me, I know about Turing Saga. I played the Kaga games. I don't know if I played Turing Saga. I can't remember, but I definitely played a lot of the like genealogy in Thracia and all that stuff. I still am holding out for one day. I would like them to remake Genealogy of the Holy War, but realistically, the chances of that happening are incredibly slim, and it's very unlikely we're ever going to see a Genealogy of the Holy War remake, which is quite sad. I really think modern Fire Emblem fans don't appreciate the experience that the older games where death was always around the corner and it's something you just had kind of to accept, compared to modern day waifu emblem, where you have to keep every character alive or you're just missing out on a bajillion bits and pieces of content. I complain about this all the time. Waifu Emblem was good to revive the franchise. It has done irreversible damage to the long-term storytelling of the franchise. That is my Fire Emblem boomer complaint. I think Naga was all the way... Wasn't Naga all the way back in 1? I can't remember. I could have sworn Naga was all the way back in 1, but maybe I'm misremembering. I know, like, major bloodlines and stuff like that was obviously, like, a major... And character development, like, that was a major point in Genealogy of Holy War, but I could have sworn Naga was part of the OG line of Fire Emblem. Because that's, like, the whole thing, right? Like, the Falchion is essentially, like, her fang made into a sword. Like... I will say, it is kind of interesting how in Fire Emblem, there's always a big dragon that they just kill or it dies. And then there's like, they become like part of the weapons that are used to keep everyone else functioning. It's such an interesting idea. Exonia's on the verge of having mental breakdown all the time because there's no fire. Where is Exonia's bedroom? I'm literally just going to put a fire in Exonia's bedroom, and that should probably keep Exonia from having a mental breakdown every 5 seconds. Congratulations, you've been promoted to this bedroom. Okay, and then I'm gonna give you a fire. I will just give you a fire you can gawk at forever. I don't really desire to put a brazier in here, but I feel like I have little choice. Or I could probably just put a lamp. No, you just get a brazier there, that's fine. I don't remember the specific timelines, because they're all technically independent worlds is kind of my plot line. Sometimes they are connected, like 1 and Gaiden are connected, which is connected to Awakening, but a lot of the other ones are kind of like in their own wacky universe. Like the Juggerel series' its own continent, and then the... what's the other one? And then the Alib storyline's own continent, and then you've got whatever the heck is going on in Fate's Landia. I still hate Fates for not actually naming their stupid continent. I really wanted to know the name of the continent that's like half Japanese and half medieval European. It would have been so cool, but they're just like, nah, we're just not gonna tell anyone. It's like, but why? I want to know. I want to know the name of this stupid continent. This Fire Emblem Fates is such bad storytelling. I will complain about this forever. I think I've just been calling it Fate's Landia because, like, what are you gonna call it? It doesn't have a name. It's just the continent. I still think it's so funny that Fire Emblem Fates decided. Anyway, so the Japanese people are the good guys and the Europeans are the bad guys, and it's just like, all right then, I guess we're just going really heavy-handed with this nonsense. The dark, edgy Europeans and the land of the darkness and the land of the light. It's so nonsensical. What about Heroes? Heroes is, again, the realms are all just like Norse words, and they're all themed after an element. Like, this land is the fire land, they're full of bad people. This land is the ice land, they're full of good people. This land is the dead people revived from an alternate timeline land, it's full of bad people. It's so, to be fair, I think the nuance of good guys and bad guys has kind of been lost on modern storytelling and media literacy. Like, I saw a lot of people complaining about the end, like some of the aspects of Amazing Digital Circus's ending, and the only thing I could think of was, like, I feel like the message here that the Gooseworks and the rest of the authors were trying to portray has been lost on people, and it is tragic that that's essentially what's happened. Are we actually gonna sow crops here, or is this not a priority? Okay, so they'll sow a single crop, and then we're just not gonna do this at all. Interesting. I would like to grow some more tea, but I cannot force our pawns to grow the tea. Okay, I'm gonna hope that putting a fire here will keep Exonia's fire need up, although apparently the fire doesn't go up at all while sleeping, which I guess makes a lot of sense. If I have you just standing here. Okay, stand by the fire. Yes. Embrace that fire. Embrace your pyromaniacy. There we go. Just gotta stand there bit by bit and then you can go to bed. Okay. Look, here you blame the fans. I think a lot of people blame the fans for attacking Gooseworks. You're not gonna be able to stop the fans. I think part of the problem is that the show got way bigger than I think anyone ever anticipated it would get. And this is also like their first major indie hit. And that's kind of like the problem that ultimately happened. Like, I think they just didn't know how to deal with that type of thing. I'm pretty sure the ending was ultimately what it was going to be in the end, but maybe the delivery might have changed over development. Also, hi Interest, how are you? How was your stream? Let me do the shadow thingy because I think everyone might have gone to sleep. How was your Rimworld, which I assume is what you were doing? How we are still doing our wacky tacky Rimworld run. Is my game not marked? I thought it was marked, unless you're messing with me. Pretty sure I was still in Rimworld. Right, anyways, how was your stream? We're doing our rat-themed colony, except it's gotten a little... Oh, sorry, we're talking about the Amazing Digital Circus and just general endings and stuff like Fire Emblem, because I was complaining about character writing in Fire Emblem and how I've got some significant issues with Fire Emblem Fates specifically because it's such a meme. And I have strong opinions about the franchise because I love the franchise so much. These require components? They don't. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of the topic of discussion. Did we get our stuff back? These things unload their components. Okay, we did not. Okay, can I finally build this stupid thing? I would like this built like yesterday. I'm gonna have Ray do it right now. Going down, getting more done by zombies. Okay, what are you using for zombies? Are you using Zombieland or something else? Or are you just setting it to the Shamblers and calling it a day? Meister Games? Okay, I was just curious because we know that Zombieland has been vibe coded nowadays. What's Meister Games? Meister on Steam. I think this is not the game you're referring to. Probably not. Oh, gotcha. Okay, I see here. Yeah, they're the ones who make like the Gundam Breaker titles. Okay, I have not played a single Gundam Breaker title. I have no idea what any of those games are. I'm still of the opinion. It's not full. It's actually a game on Steam. Let me. Okay, so if I look up Ishuli, Steam is not giving me any results. Unless it's Wayblazer Damarong, which might be the... Oh, this is it. Yeah, never mind. I found it. Yeah, Wayblazer Damarong. Okay. Ah, yes, my favorite tags. Oh, okay. Yeah, that one is just sexual content. Okay. I'm generally not terribly fond of those types of games, but I do understand there's a huge market appeal for that type of thing. Most of the stuff that I play is literally just... Like, my personal favorite TRPG that I will always shill is Tactics Ogre, Let Us Cling Together, which had a remake in Tactics Ogre Reborn. I personally don't like the remake that much. I haven't played it myself, and the main benefit that it has is that it's got a lot of voice acting and redone music, but the gameplay mechanics are not nearly as deep as the modded version for the PSP Tactics Ogre One Vision, which is way more fun, and I highly recommend playing it if you ever get a chance to. This is something I've been playing a lot on my Steam Deck as of late, and it's been a huge blast to just replay a game that I put hundreds of hours into when I was a young little individual. Oh my gosh, we can finally make our own components. All right, let's start doing this. I want to always have a stockpile of at least 50 components. Okay. Now that we have that, we should also begin figuring out how we're going to use our auger drill to start digging up rocks that we need. This will dig up chunks and other things. The main important thing is that this gives us a chance to get slag, which is more important. So we'll probably slam one of these down at some point as well. Good evening, Kahila. How are you doing, comrade? Hopefully you're having a great time. Survive a code aspects download for all, not the least version, which is basically kind of made useful and puts a lot of incompatibilities. Okay, so the 1.6 version doesn't have its sequels, or you have power armor. You have a we found recon armor from some people that raided us. So yes, you're the first knight with recon armor. I think Riston has the power armor body, but not the helmet. And then Xanth is the only knight that's still running around with a basic plate armor stuff because that's what we can afford. You didn't get close to 30 pages. Oh Jesus Christ! I hope you're able to do your work. That sounds really rough. Let's see. What was I gonna research here? Did I finally get medicine? I did, right? So I needed to get... We have automated turrets. I would like better turrets. It's time for the Ratkin to begin embracing modernity and becoming stronger. The power that they need to be. What are the Ratkin technologies? Okay, modified ammo. We already know this. Could make grenade launchers, fragmentation, Ratkin demon equipment. So really we don't have a lot of like automatic. Okay, here we go. Ratkin. Surprised there's not really a lot of Ratkin automatic firearms. The Ratkin primarily stick to World War I, World War II era shenanigans, which is kind of interesting. Unless you want to get the machine gun, which is a little different. Oh, you already submitted it. Got it. Okay, so you just woke up and now you're just kind of chilling now that you've kind of accomplished what you need to. Got it. Okay. There are two versions of one of zombie line. Okay, wait, hold on. Let's see here. Brains quite literally rewrote various framework. Harmony also wrote a framework test for mode mods using AI agents. I can trust anyone using code their mods. It's going to be him. There are two 1.6 versions of up. Loose something will slightly work on through many problems. This Brains update actually works fine. Okay. I'm mostly concerned because we've talked about Brains here a little bit and vibe coding and whatnot, and I mean the general consensus in this community is that vibe coding is bad, and for the most part that's basically true. And I know, but I am understanding that Brains kind of did go pretty deep on the AI stuff with like that AI coding and stuff. I'm not going to proclaim to be an expert in the topic. I would say it's generally... AI in general is frowned upon. I think for algorithmic purposes, it's fine. Like, say, if you need to parse a gigantic set of data, that's one thing. If you're having it make you the code, that might be a different thing. I'm not going to proclaim to know what's the correct way either way. I am not a expert in the topic. I'm an accountant by trade. I've tried to use AI in my field of work, and my general consensus is that it's not really useful for my specific use cases. Primarily because I'm someone who handles, let's just say, a decent amount of sensitive information that would be very, very adverse to feeding into a AI model. That's kind of like my type of thing. Like if I'm just trying to parse a large amount of like financial data, that's one thing. If I'm trying to have it make me anime art or do the code for me, I don't know. It's not something I'm like an expert in. So again, that's just my very vague opinion on it. Let's also slap down a... Do I not have an outdoor lamp? I don't have an outdoor lamp. I could have sworn I did. Bloody, that's annoying. Well, that's fine. All right, so here we go. So Kefir is working around the clock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this here. We're going to try to move these around. Is there a way that I might have to make more of these. Let's move this here, and then we'll move this one up here as well. That can maximize that, and we'll probably add another batch here. Общение has a corpse obsession, which is not ideal. I think the corpse obsession ended immediately, and Общение decided to just eat food normally, like a normal person, which is great. He doesn't look at the code. It's just does what he wants. Ah, so there's chances for vulnerabilities to show up, and he wouldn't even know. Isn't that like part of the problem with AI coding, where it's like you don't necessarily know what the code does anymore, and you just kind of sometimes it's like hard to parse it now because like you're not the one who wrote it. Let's just get rid of these blocks here. I do need to add more. Now that we have actually a large amount of components, what I'm going to do is I need to find a way to accelerate this. If we add a fabrication cab, this will go faster. So I think we'll add. What we'll do is we'll put these in the back here. Move this one up one more tile, and then this one will move up one more tile as well. And then that should crank this up a decent amount. I think each of these is plus 25. And that should be a little bit quicker. We gotta make this as fast as possible. Now, we could automate this, which we might try to at some point, but for the time being, we don't really have that space. Satisfies trusting the framework, not similar to algorithmic. I have no horse in this race, so I'm not gonna really engage with this topic much. Like I said, I try not to use AI that much. I've tried it a couple times, and it's just not something that has been beneficial to my use cases, and that's why I don't use it. I also just don't like it for I think generative AI is probably like one of the worst aspects of it too, just because obviously I know a lot of artists and whatnot, and the fact that, hey, these artists are kind of in a bind because all this crazy stuff going on with AI is just insane. Who's Darren? Oh, right, we never fully converted this person, huh? They are slowly breaking down bit by bit. Darren will slowly become one of ours. We will mind break her, and she will submit to our cause. She will be reformed. All right, we'll run the other stuff in a bit. There's a lot of other random stuff we gotta get rid of. I do want to start getting rid of the trees here. I think what I want to do is, if you get rid of the trees around your edges, it does block people from being able to what's what I'm thinking of, essentially stop the trees from growing, thus making it impossible for the enemy to more or less hide behind the trees. It's not really a problem, but it's something to keep in mind. Airman Joker's on the verge of another issue with that. Muscle parasites, okay. So I think that's what we'll do. We're gonna start adding some more concrete. I'm a big fan of concrete. But anyways, Kahila, hopefully your schoolwork was... Hopefully you get a good grade on that stuff. I'm so glad I'm out of school, but I know a lot of viewers might still be in school. And all I can say every single time is good luck. It's not fun. I've been there. I know the pain. I was once a student too. I think just because to give our pawn something to do. Oh, I can't. That area is fully bricked off. All the copyright violations, they need to make AI happen. I still think it's funny that AI cannot. Oh, I saw this, something that was really funny. Apparently, like in a court of law right now, there is actually a case going on from some company called like the Brain Rot Factory, because they have a character that's stupidly popular. I think it was like called Tong Tong or something like that. It's like the baseball bat looking goober, and they're trying to claim they have copyright of that character and its identity, but the problem was that it was created by AI, right? And so technically anything created by AI doesn't have any copyright, but a bunch of Roblox games are using these characters created by these groups. So now you legitimately have the words Tung Tung Shakur or whatever his name is in an actual United States copyright case law. It's just so funny to me that this is the point we've reached in society, that this is just like a legitimate thing you can find in case law. Yeah, it's legitimate. I was like, oh boy. Yes, it's just so silly. Yeah. So we'll have to see how well these laws hold up about how, hey, if you're gonna use AI, you don't have copyright. I think it'll be a very, very interesting case study for future lawyers. You know, that's kind of what I think. It'll be so funny to see how it pans out. Okay, let's get rid of this thing. gonna start cleaning up a lot of the base. Also, it is unfortunately a solar flare, so we don't get a chance to do anything right now other than suffer, which does suck. Have to wait until all this is kind of resolved. We have enough food to last us quite a bit, but the problem is that we can't cook our food for the time being. We can't actually do a lot of our progress right now because a lot of our stuff is delayed. Let's also hunt down some of these random animals. Let's go kill some animals while we're at it. Let's kill oh god, it's a lot of boom rats. Let's kill the rats. Let's kill the sea lions. Let's kill the muffalo. And I think we'll just leave the neutralopes alone. That should be fine. Okay, there's just some brains. I call it secondary, and I'm trying to bring these up. He ignores them. I mean, to be fair, if he's very smug about it, that would be very obnoxious as well. You want to be a lawyer defending something called Brain Rot Factory? I know, it's so cursed. It's literally because of Roblox. Like, hold on, I found the tweet. In case we all want to gawk at this together, because I think it's so dumb. Here we go. Imagine a 74-year-old judge reading this after a long week. Okay, hold on. Oh my god, it's trying to have me log in again. Fuck you, Twitter. I don't want to log in. This website sucks. Oh, here we go. Close that. I think it's because it's trying to have me like log in with Google, but I really don't want to. Anyways, imagine having to read this actual case as a judge in the court of law, and you have to read the words. Oh, X cancel? Is that the one people use nowadays? Okay, hold on. X cancel. Okay, imagine having to read this in the court of law, right? Defendant Momentum Lab describes itself as the Brain Rot Memes Agency. For example, contends it owns or controls the copyrights to the brain rots. Brain rots being used as an actual noun, known as Tung Tung Sahur and you din 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 din. I don't know how to pronounce the stupid thing. Because it was on Roblox, and so the plaintiff is basically like Spider Games, just the one that uploaded the thing to Roblox and is using it. This is like a legitimate thing that we now have to contend with. Like, actual brain rot memes are being copyrighted even though they're AI generated, and whether or not that AI copyright is valid. And the answer is it shouldn't be, but you know, these companies are going to fight for it, right? And if you're big enough to create this lawsuit, you're probably going to try to force a victory. And if it does ultimately win, well, that's going to change essentially how this is going to operate for a lot of people. Just dump more of that here too. By the way, I did want to add more fencing here to make this look a little cleaner before I forget. We can't add here, that's fine. So let's add a fence. I don't know if I had a metal fence object or not. I guess I don't have a metal fence. That's a little annoying. Alright, well, maybe we don't put a fence. Did you put a gun to your head? Twitch shows stole money from Bezos. Well, we had a lot of gifted a bunch of subs yesterday, which I appreciate, and I know Comrade Futanari Powers, which is now a word I have to say on stream, also gifted a bunch of subs today as well. So a lot of people now have some cool emotes, and I hope you all enjoy them. Yeah. It is very strange to say those words. You missed a bunch of stuff while you were gone, disappearing off in the realm of the Philippines. See? What do you mean? Don't feel sorry. It's fine. I've said a lot more weird things on stream today. Today's stream discussions have just been it's just been a plethora of interesting subtopics. Whether we're talking about video games or Twilight or Rimworld, this truly is the variety stream. Like, legit. I joke about this, but Rimworld streams really do have the time turn into just chatting streams with Rimworld playing in the background while I try to play this correctly. What the hell is a giant killer? Oh my god. Is it a dead ratkin? Oh, it is. Oh, it's a sword. Actual damage is proportional to the size of the enemy. Okay, that sounds ominous. That's a big sword that I'm not gonna make right now. Yeah, 2G signal. How fast is 2G? 2G speed. I'm actually kind of curious what 2G speed is. Okay. 2G rolled out in the 90s. Okay. Primarily used with the GSM standard. Okay. Usually 128 kilobits per second. For a 10 megabyte file, that would download in about 10 minutes. Oh god. Yeah, I'd be amazed if you could even open up Twitch without even trying to load into a stream. That just sounds awful. Well, I'm glad that you're able to at least return to the land of, you know, normal society and able to communicate with us. If you're ever feeling trapped, you know, just blink 3 times or something like that. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I do want to build this stupid, I know what I want to build. Okay, I want to build an automatic mason temporarily, just so I can rip through this ridiculous stack of stuff over there. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna get that slammed out. I need a industrial automatic mason, which requires 2 robotic arms and a medium machine frame, all of which I can slam out fairly quickly. So 1 medium machine frame, 2 robotic arms. Okay, 2 robotic arms, 4 components. That's medium machine frame, which is 10 components. That's about 14 components total, which we have right now, and we're making a lot more perpetually, so we should be fine. It's a 10-minute ride too, but you were just stuck there, right? You had no choice. See, what you gotta do is you gotta start installing Is there an alternative to Starlink that doesn't give money to Elon Musk? Just do that. Do exactly that and you'll be fine. Okay. What are we researching? Oh, right, we do need to get... We have automatic turrets available now, so we're gonna start replacing our dead turrets with better turrets. So, at the very least, we can probably slap down a few basic mini turrets. It's not the best thing, but it gets the work done. These use 556, 45 NATO. So we'll probably build like a new facility that's gonna be like the security room at some point. Oh no, what do you mean by no? What do you mean by no? Yeah, I have an idea for an expansion in this area. I just haven't had a chance to implement it, but it's basically gonna be expand this field here, which actually we don't really need to give them more feeding room, primarily because we just feed them more food. Ah, no alternatives, got it. Okay. Well, regardless, welcome back to the land of the living. Okay, let me use the restroom. I've been yapping nonstop, and I've been drinking a lot of water, so I need to do that real fast, and should be Gucci. I'll let the game run about here, so you can all gawk at this. I'll be right back. Feel free to discuss about whatever you want while I try to come up with new topics while I'm in the restroom. What's the saying? We're born too early to explore the earth, but we're born too late to explore the earth. We're born too early to explore space, but we're born just in time to watch VTubers on the internet. Truly, we live in a magical time. Actually, I was browsing my phone for a little bit just while I was in the restroom just to see if there's anything interesting that came up. One thing that actually did catch my attention was, hey, remember the Steam Deck, the thing that we keep talking about? So there's a company out there named D-Brand, right? And they make some pretty interesting customization products for products like the Steam Deck, essentially, right? Is it like skins and whatnot? Yeah, I'm about to talk about the cube. I'm about to talk about the companion cube. So they were announcing this, essentially a outer shell for the Steam Deck that was designed around the companion cube. And for the longest time, I thought it was like legitimate because they had an entire advertisement for this thing and it looked really great. And then for whatever reason, it turns out they didn't have the copyright to do it. They were just like, oh, we're just gonna make this and just hope Valve is okay with this. Hold on, see if I can find it. Because it looked actually kind of interesting, but I just thought it was so funny that companies think they can just do this type of thing and just try to get by the copyright. And so they apparently put a lot of R&D into this thing, because this product isn't, you just don't make this by 3D printing it. Like, this is like legitimately something you have to create entire injection molds for. So can you imagine how much money they spent doing this advertisement, which I need to emphasize, they did not have permission from Valve to use any of the characters for this. They just, I guess, assumed it was gonna be okay. And so all it is basically it's like a outer shell for your Steam machine, your Gabe cube, that's gonna make it look like a companion cube. Like this, exactly like that. And I don't know, every time I heard about this thing, and you have to buy this from, I don't know how they were selling it for, probably like $70, maybe $80, so you can put on an outer shell for your thing. But they put in so much R&D and money into this, and they basically were just like, wait a second. Valve basically sent them a C&D saying, hey, why? And it just doesn't make any sense. I just thought it was so funny because Valve usually doesn't do too much with their copyright shenanigans that much, as long as you're not trying to make too much money off of it. Like, Valve's always been okay with, like, you know, SFM movies featuring their characters. They're kind of just whatever about it. Very, very, what's the word I'm thinking of? Blas about it? Very blasé? Is that the word? I'm gonna double check this before I say something incorrect. Blasé meaning. Yeah, I think they've just been very, like, whatever about it for the longest time, but now they're just like, okay, why did you think this was gonna be okay? There's a bunch of other scenarios that were very much like this a long time ago, like when someone tried to make NFTs out of Magic the Gathering cards and basically said, yeah, we're gonna make NFTs based on Magic the Gathering cards and put it on the blockchain, and if you own this NFT, you own the real card. And it's just like, but you don't even have the copyright for this. Who thought this was okay? Then again, I don't know. D-Brand usually makes decent stuff. I've seen a lot of their items, and I've considered buying a few things, but I never ultimately did because it's kind of pricey. But it's just so silly. Oh, hey, look, there's actually a D-Brand sale. Maybe I do buy some D-Brand shenanigans stuff for my Steam Deck type of stuff. We'll see. I do use that Steam Deck still on a daily basis. It's a lot of fun to just kind of lie down and play video games on. I tell you what. Okay, let's just see here. I think we've done like, this colony is kind of operating really well. By the way, I did figure out what I want to do for the next run. It's gonna be a lot of explosions probably, and we will probably be on a ship, and it may or may not involve big armor, but we'll experience it when we get there. No, we're not adding RJW. We're a very normal type of community. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I was actually kind of curious, like, what kind of, if similar concepts were available in Crusader Kings 3, primarily because I was looking if maybe the not safe for work modders were the ones who maybe came up with an option to rescue my family members who have been taken as concubines by other factions. Because for whatever reason in Crusader Kings 3, that's just straight up not a thing you're allowed to do. You cannot rescue your family members who become concubines. It doesn't make any sense, but that's just how the game is, I guess, programmed. And it's very frustrating, and apparently no one has a solution to this at all, and it made zero sense. I'm like, what do you mean no one has a solution to the fact that you cannot rescue family members who've become concubines, because that's just how the game operates? It's super dumb. I'll never forgive them for doing it like that. Makes no sense. I want to make some nice flowers here. What's the prettiest flower I can throw in? I guess assorted flowers is fine. All grass would also look kind of fine too. We'll see. People are trying to convert each other, which is annoying. But yeah, I'm not one to add, you know, questionable content to my video games, primarily because I don't really see the point. I guess if you're really into that type of thing, sure. I guess for maybe if it immerses you into your role play, I'm not here to judge you. I've seen them before. I know they exist for basically every game under the sun, whether you're looking at Skyrim, Sims, Crusader Kings, Rimworld, anime mods. I'll add anime mods. I am not gonna lie. I will always be a sucker for anime mods because I think anime mods are so fun. It doesn't work for every game, and I'm not gonna put it in every single game. But for the most part, if it's appropriate enough, I will throw it in there. Like whenever I do Hoi 4, we turn it into an anime abomination. No, Azure Lane, I hate Azure Lane so much. Talked about this a million times, but Azure Lane I hate with a strong passion. I really dislike the over sexualization of the skins in that game because they just know that's what sells money, and that's kind of the main appeal. I strongly dislike it. When you take away all of a character's clothes, there is nothing left to the imagination. Imagination is ultimately what makes something sometimes a lot more alluring. I have no idea where I'm going with this, but just pretend what I'm saying makes sense, right? You can have the skimpiest outfit and you can give a character the skimpiest outfit ever, and it's just not going to be as appealing as as a character that's got way more clothes on them. Why am I talking about this? Just go with the Arknights. Arknights has really cool character designs. I like Arknights character designs. But generally, yeah, a lot of games just don't have, or like they're so focused on being super sexual that it kind of isn't as fun anymore. That's why and I'm sure I've mentioned this, but my character clothing design aesthetic is very much the more clothes is better ultimately, right? Is kind of how I always like seeing characters, and like I like intricate outfits, I like nice outfits, I like simple outfits, as long as it's like a nice outfit that coordinates well and isn't super skimpy, then that's generally what I like. Like, I mean, like me, we got this one, if I can figure out which button applies the outfits. This one is still kind of like got some stuff, a lot of coverage. This one's got obviously all the way down to the knees and to the shins, and then obviously this one, I mean, it's a little above knee, but even still it's like covered up pretty well too. I don't know what Brown Dust is. Is that the not safe for work, like, tactical RPG? I remember seeing something like that, and like I think one of my friends was playing it, and I'm just like, what the hell is a Brown Dust? Then I saw the characters, and I was like, oh, that's just I think I saw some of like the live 2D scenes, because every game nowadays under the sun has live 2D, and I was just like, oh, okay, this is just full-on erotica. I was like, but they can't make it like that. It's very suggestive. And I'm like, no thanks, I'm good. No thanks, I'm good, fam. I should do an art stream. I'll just draw more outfits of your characters that I'll just draw outfits the entire time. I'll be like, all right, we're gonna draw cool outfits that don't look terrible, and my opinion matters because I'm a cool VTuber, and that's what matters, right? I don't know. It just seems crazy because I also see it a lot in the VTuber space, where a lot of people, especially like up and coming VTubers will, or like those who are super popular, or they want like someone to just click on them, they'll have like the lewdest model that you could possibly imagine, or they'll lean semi-hard into not safe for work content because it's just kind of what people they know will click into that type of stuff. Like one prime example I saw is that there was a VTuber whose name I'm forgetting off the top of my head, but they debuted like a furry model, and then the trailer had like all the words of like, oh, potty trained and all that stuff, and I was just like, okay, why? And to be fair, they're like a very popular VTuber who's trying to do this type of thing, and obviously it appeals. Maybe it's just like a bit, it's a gimmick, but I saw it and I'm just like, I'm good, fam. I'm not gonna do that. And so it's just crazy to me. That this is just kind of the thing that people do because it's what they want to get clicks, and that's the easiest way to get clicks. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut all the do this into for all the limestone. We're gonna cut all the limestone into concrete, and the easiest way to do this is I'm gonna move this crate over. We're gonna move this crate over here. And then what I'm gonna do is we're gonna do construction. Okay, I need storage. We're gonna do crate. Okay, and then these four are gonna be linked together, storage, and then we're gonna do this as limestone chunks, and then set this to critical, and that should be fine. Okay. Loot tubers. I mean, yeah, it's loot tubers, but again, there's nothing wrong with being a loot tuber. I don't know if I know I rag on a lot about this type of stuff, but if you like that, if you like to do that type of thing and you like watching that type of content, more power to you. Like, it's your choice. Like, as much as I complain about stuff like that, ultimately it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, and you're free to watch what you like. I'm never here to police what people watch, ultimately, but I will look at what people watch and silently judge them from afar. How about that? Let's say that's essentially what's happening. But I'm not gonna be out there telling you like, don't watch this type of person because they're lewd. It's like, whatever, man. If you enjoy it, then you do it, right? And I think that's the best way to approach it in the grand scheme of things. You get my opinion on the word slop. Okay, so slop it's being applied to a lot of things, obviously as a negative or insulting term, but a lot of people I think don't really. I think it depends how you use the term slop, right? I use it in the okay, yeah. I guess I need more context. You have friends just saying don't know how overused the term is. I think that's fair. It is a very overused term, right? I use it sometimes in the context of like work slop and like because I was like a genre because I don't like that genre of game that much, but it's like very prevalent in the fields that I like because I like tycoon business simulation games, but there's all these games where you have to do a first-person business thing, and I call it work slop because it's just there are so many of them, and they're all kind of bland. I think your opinion is fair to have. I disagree. I don't think it's necessarily a person saying things slop is a miserable wretch, but it is overused a lot of the time. I use it in the sense it's like I don't know what else to call it. Like, what am I going to call a game like Mecha Chameleon? It's an art game, but it's a game where you mostly play with friends. Same thing with like Lethal Company. Like, there's a genre for these types of like cooperative or semi-competitive games that you just kind of play. Like, you can call them party games, but it's not really so much of a party game as it is like friend slop is what I call it. And I don't think that makes me sound like a wretch, but I can see the annoyance of hearing that all the time. There we go. Let's make this concrete mix. There we go. We can make a lot of concrete. That'll make things a lot easier here. Come on. There we go. Look at all that concrete. Okay. But yeah, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to call it, you know, slop. I think it's a fine term. Is it a dumb term? Yes, it's a very dumb term, but there's a lot worse terms that you could use aside from slop. Just remember, there's always something worse out there. There's always something worse out there. How did Daisy get stuck in here? How do all of our animals just get stuck in the most random of places? All right, Daisy. The other thing I do is I gotta break this open. So we're gonna clear this up, and that'll open up that corner for defenses, and hopefully as long as we're still making more components. This is now moving at 135% speed, which is pretty good. I don't think there's any way I can make this any faster, unless I get more of the... Because these things, you can only have two at a two connected. Which is fine. You can also make stamponents, or convert them around. Which we're not going to do right now. But yeah, hey, if you want to be a LootTuber, be a LootTuber. It's your life. Why let someone like me tell you what you are or are not allowed to do? Ultimately, it doesn't matter, and that's the joy of being on the internet. You can be whatever you want to be. You want to be a LootTuber? Be the lootest thing you've ever dreamed. Otherwise, be like me and play video games, and that's your entire gimmick. My entire gimmick is I sit here and I play Rimworld and other strategy games because that's the type of thing I enjoy. I love strategy games. I was born in them, raised by them, and I will probably die playing a strategy game. Probably have a heart attack in the middle of like a 10-hour Civilization 10 session, and I'll just like, whoops, goodbye. And it'll be tragic, but at least I'll have died valiantly. Just get ready to be judged, and reasonably so. I mean, like I said, judge if you want, but I generally don't find it's really worth putting someone down for trying to do that type of stuff. Right. That's kind of that's kind of how it is. Like, you do what you want. Polybus. I don't know what word you're trying to say, but sure, we'll go with that. Speaking of stuff, I gotta go convert more I gotta convert more USD to JPY, because I don't know if anyone pays attention to the exchange rate, but the JPY has been crashing like crazy recently. And I'm trying to convert more before the trip, but it seems like it's gonna crash even more. Because right now, like the other day, I converted like a couple $100 at, you know, 1 to 161, and now it's at like 1 to 162, and it's probably gonna be 1 to 163 in the very near future. It's crazy how fast the Japanese currency is just like falling apart. It's insane. We'll have to see what's going on with that, because I still got that trip in a couple months, and I would like that trip to go on as planned, please. I've been waiting very, very long for that trip, so we'll have to see if I'm what's gonna be. Everything's going to everything but the US dollar, apparently, because every time I look at those currency exchange rates, because I gotta go to Canada, I'm just like, oh, okay, it's the USD is strong again, because I think a while ago it was almost like 1 to 135, and then I was like, oh, it'll probably go back to like 1 to 130, and I'll exchange a bunch of CAD back to USD. But nope, it just went the other way around again. You don't like surprised if someone decides they want to call you other with it, so decides just to the coin. I mean, that's true too. Like I said, here's the thing. Here's my opinion. What do you derive from insulting someone who's a LootTuber? That's ultimately the question that you should ask. What do you get for doing such a thing? I may talk about them, but it's because I talk about them in the context of like the VTubing sphere as a whole. And there's a lot of LootTubers out there, but they have their own audiences, and you know, a lot of them will do things like ASMR and stuff like that, and that's just what they want to do. Versus someone like me who stays far away from that and focuses strictly on, you know, more, I don't know what you want to call it, like more non-lewd, very much focused on a specific subject type of content, like video games. I mean, there is a flavor of person for every type of person out there, and that's fine. Look at me. I appeal to a certain subset of individuals who watch VTubers. I'm basically you like to watch Rimworld, but you want to have an anime character narrating the Rimworld adventure to you while you're playing Rimworld. That's basically what it is. And I am perfectly happy with that with that descriptor. That is my primary function as a VTuber. It's neither normal. What do you mean I'm not? I'm very normal and wholesome. Many people would agree that I am, in fact, a wholesome individual. Ray would totally agree that I'm a wholesome individual, although I think she went to sleep, so she can't back me up, unfortunately, on this topic. But I'm sure she would agree that I am a very normal person. Oh shoot, I forgot to put a tile there. There we go. Can I wait, I can align the plants. Will this kill all the plants if I force them to align it? I'm actually curious if this is gonna kill the crops. Maybe we don't do that. Maybe we don't try to align the plants. Just let them do their thing. Twitch poll. I could do a Twitch poll, but I don't know if I want to do a Twitch poll for that. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow. We'll see. There's enough people that want to answer the question of, is the great and mighty professor a very normal person? And the correct answer is yes. I do need to get the drills up and running. I think we're researching the second tier drill, right? Yeah, we are. We need to find a way to increase our research speed. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to slam down an NE. I'm going to slam down another research lab. We're going to move the, I can leave that there. I think I can slam an ENIAC down here. Slam out down an ENIAC, and then we can probably put something else over here. I do want to replace the floor here too. Like this, we're going to start adjusting a lot of the floors to be more appropriate. So this one's going to need, you know, full-on sterile tiles because it's obviously the research lab, so we want to make sure that's correct. So we'll get those in as well. Yes, a soothing presence because I'm pretty laid back. You know what's funny? I think, depending on what I do, I do think I am fairly laid back, but oh my gosh, there's been times when I play certain games and I get like super salty and I'm like, I should not be allowed to play video games sometimes, or else I get like super mad. What type matter in Rimworld? Yes, sometimes. For example, wood floors have pretty good amount of beauty assigned to them, but they get dirty a lot faster than, say, concrete. Something like tiles, for example, require a little bit more work, but they can have, but they'll take a lot longer to put down. Something like sterile tile here will be a lot cleaner most of the time, which will give you better research and cleaning in hospitals, which is why we've turned our hospital to all sterile tiles. So it does matter quite a bit. Obviously, for aesthetic purposes, that's a different problem too. So that's why we're putting nice, clean, sterile research tiles here as well. You're personally a fan of Bible streamers who play games and read the Bible. It's gotta be fair. It's really fair for everyone, I guess. I mean, yeah, like if that's the type of thing you enjoy watching, then there's definitely a streamer out there that will probably match exactly what you're looking for. It's not the type of thing that I would ever really do on this channel because it's not the type of thing I really care to do, but hey, someone's out there that'll probably do that. This would help insulate. No, it doesn't. I don't think wood flooring helps for insulation. You do want flooring though, primarily because flooring does improve your walk speed. So base dirt is at 87% walk speed. Tiles move you at 100%, or flooring moves you at 100%. Doesn't go really any faster than that. But other types might be slower, like sand is slower than slate flooring, which is weaker. You know, it's like a variety. If you're like walking in the shallow ocean, you walk at like 30% speed. So it does matter what you choose. Gotta drink my water, gotta chug this. I'm not gonna say to notice more ship chunks. We do need more of them at some point. We also got to keep moving these. I'm glad we can at least rip through these quickly now. We probably start hauling more of these so we can just keep this thing running all the time. This mason's doing a lot of work, which I'm very, very happy for, but we need more batteries as well, so we got to get more power stored overnight. So let's start slamming out the 16K battery, which is a little more expensive, but it does store a little bit more power. You found a dude who put the metal triangle on his head with a toilet lid and sits in front of a shower turned on humming, which is real. I mean, I'm sure that's a stream. There's just, like I said, there's a stream for everything. Like if you want easy access loot streams, just go to the VR chat category. You want weird streams, just go to just chatting. There's always someone doing something stupid on the just chatting category. There is something for everyone. But I'm glad that a lot of you have chosen that for some reason I am going to be your entertainment for most evenings. Hopefully I at least provide some amount of entertainment that you enjoy, and that it's not a complete waste of your time. I hope. I hope these streams have been fun. I really do, because I enjoy doing it. You know, I do enjoy streaming, despite it does put a significant amount of toll on my other things that I do. Weirdness value. I'm hoping the weirdness value isn't that, but I'm glad the entertainment value is worth it. Oh my gosh, I might need to end stream a little early today, mostly because I've been like a little tired and I've been like super hungry. I didn't get a chance to take a nap, so we'll have to see. I'll probably give myself like another 10-15 minutes. I probably will cut like maybe 10 minutes early today, just to be able to get something to eat. Still claiming to be doing exorcism speaking Spanish. I don't know. I mean, to be fair, that seems like an interesting stream. Can you imagine if you tune into me and I just started speaking in Tagalog and trying to exorcise a devil? That would be funny. Is where you live being affected by the heat? Yes, very. It is uncomfortably hot. In my room it is actually quite warm. I'm pretty sure right now it's about like upper 70s, like in my little office area. And there's not much I can do about it. It's just the heat, and I can't open a window because the heat outside is still hotter than inside. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's going to be cooling down until approximately, I want to say Thursday or Friday. So it's literally just a survival type game, just trying to not explode to the intense heat. That's too much internet for the day. I mean, listen, there's always a time when it's too much internet for the day. You can always just do other things. You don't have to be on the internet all the time. You can embrace other things. Okay, let's get all this wood out of here. Let's go slam out that ENIAC now so we can get more research done faster. I think I need a factory research terminal. I can't afford to do this, but I can definitely add an ENIAC. I think we'll just slam the ENIAC down over here. We may end up expanding this research lab into this room at some point and move Immortal to another bed, because wow, this bed is an awful quality, and that's a little tragic. A reverse Frostpunk. We could play Frostpunk at some point. I do like Frostpunk quite a bit. But I know the new DLC came out, but I haven't played it myself. Maybe one day. Ah, a new patient named Lacey. Look at that. A wolf girl, because she's got those cos mods on. Yeah. And we have to just kind of tend to her. Oh, okay. We tended to her and she immediately left. Fantastic. I love it. Oh yeah, Frostpunk 2 came out like a while ago. We even streamed it. It was fine, is my honest opinion on Frostpunk 2. I think Frostpunk 2 is one of those games where... So here's the thing. People liked Frostpunk 1 a lot because you really got personal in a way with the characters for Frostpunk 1, because they were all, you know, like you're managing a small city of like maybe like 100 to 300 to 400 people. In Frostpunk 2, you're managing entire like nations that you're basically managing a nation that like has a couple thousands, if not tens of thousands of people in the city, and that can be fun, but it kind of loses that personality that the first one had. I know the new DLC came out, and I know they're doing a remaster of the first one into like a more modern engine, and I'm probably gonna play that when that comes out too. The new DLC came out. I know Rano was talking about. I think the new things got something to do about like a volcano, but you know, new DLC's expensive, and I don't really want to pay $13 for a new scenario pack at the current time. Go outside and smell the grass and the burning. This is good for weather and water parks and ice pops. I mean, you could just go outside. I could just... Thing is, I like going outside to take photos, but with this weather, it's not really worth it. And maybe by the time the weekend rolls around, it might be a little better, but it's still going to be kind of awful because it's supposed to be nice and raining all the time. And then the week after this, I'll be in Canada, so there's also that too. So FYI, yeah, this is a 4-day stream week, but next week we're going to be a little shorter with 3 days because I am overdue for my Canada visit. I normally go up to Canada on the 4th of July, but this year I'm not. Which makes Ray very sad. So I'll need to go see her next week so that she will be appeased and she will not try to kill me. So that's kind of why. So the more you know. Currently bordering 3 to 11C. Good luck. That sounds pretty awful, honestly, but I'm sure you'll survive. Do your best. That's all I can say, really. I'm sure you'll be fine. How do I cancel hauling these things? I made a grave mistake. Oh, don't worry, we're probably gonna go get oysters or something. She loves her oysters. Yeah, usually, see, my solution is I feed her oysters and then she becomes very happy, or at least more sedated in the way that she's not gonna go murder me. So, oh, an animal pod with a timber wolf named Akiri. Oh, the animal's dead. Well, that's tragic. You can't save them all, unfortunately, so some of them will have to die. This thing is already cranked up to full. Okay, we have improved automatic quarries. What I'm gonna do is I do need to get better defenses. We need more turrets, so my priority, let's get Ratkin Demon equipment. I'm curious what we're gonna get from there, and then we'll start doing a little bit more automation. So maybe we'll get some, we could upgrade our technology to fusion reactors. I think fusion reactors would be a really cool tech. Let's get combat cloaks. I don't know why why we don't have combat cloaks yet. I think that'd be kind of fun. So yeah, we'll see. Oh my gosh, let me stretch a little bit. So yeah, good stuff. Okay, hold on, so I was checking something real quick. So yeah, we'll see what happens next week for streaming, but it's probably gonna just be, again, it'll be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday I take off, and then be back the following Monday. I think this colony is probably gonna run, my guess is like another 8 streams. This is probably gonna be one of the longer colonies, mostly because we did start a little low tech and we're trying to crank our way up. And I do kind of want to explore what some of DMS has to offer, but our main thing is we need more research and more metals and other things. And you know, our pawns are busy trying to craft everything, but there's only so much that they can do, right? So we don't want to overwork our dear little ratkin who have been slaving away at the industry that requires them to keep working. Okay, let me see here. Who's even alive at this hour? Oh my god, I forgot that game Sand Raiders came out, because everyone was like playing that thing. It looks cool. You can build your own like sand, I don't know what you want to call it, like a giant walking castle. It's like we're mixing Dune with Howl's Moving Castle or something like that. It looks pretty interesting. Maybe one day. But it's also not a game that I probably would end up streaming myself, but whatever. Thursday, I'm still kind of up in the air what I'm going to do, but I'll try to come up with something that's probably going to be fun. Who knows? Who knows, right? It's probably going to be a city builder, I'll be honest with you. I've been craving a city builder. Anyways, let's see. I don't know what's Nut Dealer 5. What the heck is Nut Dealer 5? Dealer 5, what the heck is this? Oh, Deltarune. Yeah. I need to buy Deltarune. I haven't bought it yet, so I haven't had a chance to play the new chapter. I'm a little behind on my Deltaruning, unfortunately, just because I haven't had a chance to really get my hands on Deltarune. I didn't buy it yet, so one of these days I will. By the way, we have tea now, so that tea will be cooked at the cooking place, and we will have unlimited garden tea for all of our beautiful comrades to consume on a regular basis. Yeah, I mentioned this earlier, but I've only played Deltarune Chapter 1, and I've not played any other chapter, unfortunately. I just have not had the opportunity to do so. Anyways, it is... I think I'll probably... Let's see. Alright, we'll go raid Falu today. Falu VT. Alright, let's say hi to Falu. I'm gonna go probably get something to eat and get ready for bed and all that jazz. But I hope you had fun with Rimworld, comrades. Thank you for joining on our magical Rimworld adventure in the realm of the rats. May we rat more forevermore and all that jazz. I'll be back tomorrow with Fire Emblem, which I'm hoping you're all looking forward to. Alright, comrades, good night and enjoy the rest of your night. Be back tomorrow. I'm gonna go... It's also like super hot, so I'm like getting super uncomfortable. Okay, goodbye. No, I did not do this thing for your rats. Totally not.